On, and we should be going.
All right. Welcome everybody to another TT campaign. We're doing a very special one today. It is set in my personal fantasy setting of Midgahheim, which means that for once I am restricted to add an actual canon and can't just do bullshit like make Gandalf ride Pinkie Pie in the first episode, unless I want to, sacrilege my own work, which of course I will eventually. But for now, at the very least, I'm slightly shackled by an actual continuity I want to stick to. We are in a vaguely medieval fantasy setting. For those of you in the audience who know Midgahheim, which could be any and all of you listening, really, if anyone's listening, this takes place before the First Goblin War, so well before Wizard School Mysteries. And after the Age of Antiquity, so long after the Greek heroes did their shit, it is in the time that will be called the Age of Fairy Tales after it is over. But for now, it is just beginning. Our story takes place in the Kingdom of Angelsex, one of three kingdoms of the country of Bretons. Kingdom is much smaller than a modern-day country. Think of it more equivalent of like one united state. And even then, kingdoms are very fractured because, unlike today, every town is separated by vast expanses of wilderness. Really, you only think about the fact that you're in a kingdom when you're at war and suddenly you're called to fight for your kingdom. Otherwise, you live in your town, and your town is your world. Unless, of course, the world calls for you to travel. And today, in our campaign, which is called No Small Feat, we shall meet several people who have been called upon to travel. They are arriving in the town of Hans End. Now, it is also important to note that the Kingdom of Angelsex has suffered a horrifying loss. The King of Angelsex has died. 7 years ago, he was slain in a great coup by his duke. His head was stoved in, and his crown shattered to pieces, its jewels lost. A king is not just a political ruler, it is a person who is magically bound to the kingdom that they serve. Without a kingdom falls into chaos. Magic grows feral, monsters become more prevalent and more vicious, disasters, calamities, famines, and plagues abound, and everything gets a little darker and a lot more chaotic. And it is in that chaos, 7 years into that chaos, that our heroes arrive in the town of Hans End. As in Hans Christian Andersen. As always, I will be a cheeky little bastard when it comes to naming things. We arrive in the city of Hans End, and which of my lovely players would like to be the first to enter the town? If no one volunteers, we're going alphabetical.
I need to start changing my name so that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. To be fair, you don't have to be second. Possibly third when Shady gets his character named.
So I go first?
No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll a d4 because there's 4 of you, and I'll just number it that way. Okay. So who? Number three would be Edmund.
All right.
Edmund Guilford, at the bottom of the map, you arrive in the town of Townsend. Look at you, you cute little cat man.
Lovely.
Edmund, you're essentially human, right?
Essentially.
Like basically human, mostly human, perhaps. Would be a way to say it.
On the inside.
Yeah. So Edmund, what happened to you, my dude?
Edmund was traveling through the forest on a hunt, taking a moment to be away from his retainers and all the responsibilities of his position as the orphaned child of knights who died when the king died. Taking a moment to himself when some strange, mysterious figure, a witch, a demon, a fairy, something of that sort, remarked upon Edmund taking that moment to enjoy himself, and as they are wont to do, inflicted an ironic curse on him by turning him into a wild beast to reflect his own desire to avoid his responsibility of his position.
Yeah, you act beastly, you become a beast. It's just how it is sometimes when weird fairy tale bullshit happens to you in the woods. Edmund, we can get a picture of you up here, theoretically. We'll just we'll flash that in chat, maybe. I'll do that in chat. That's the easiest way that I can think of.
Flash it in chat, and I will put it up.
Why am I posting in character art, William? I'm a professional DM. I do this for a hobby. Okay. So good old Edmund here. Once a handsome, one assumes, prince. That's what we call a person who's standing to inherit a title. Not necessarily king. Knight is a title that one can inherit. Once a handsome prince, Edmund is now Lynx, boar, snake man with goat horns. Pretty fun design, I must say. It was fun hashing that out and figuring that out. So Edmund, how has your experience been going into towns since your transformation?
This town specifically, or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh, it's been rough for him going into town, and people are like, "Oh my God, it's a monster! It's the ravening beast!"
Yeah, they do say that specific phrase quite often. Then perhaps it is notable to you that when you enter the town of Hansend, there are no screams, there are no gasps, there are almost no sounds at all because the city streets are deserted. It is barren. There is no one out and about. You enter the market area, which is where you are now on this beautiful map that I made in about 20 minutes on Sunday. Would you like to explore?
Yes.
All right, well, just move your little guy, and we'll see what you explore and find.
Edmund is going to... Oh, do I have to double-click it?
I don't know. I think you can just click it, theoretically.
If it's not moving for you, you might have to delete that one and pull one off for yourself.
Ah, damn, I was hoping that would work. All right.
Oh, I just have to pull it up from my character sheet?
Yeah,
I guess you'll have to. Damn, I was hoping that would work.
sometimes it
I was
works
hoping
when the DM does it, but sometimes it doesn't because...
I was hoping I'd found the cheat codes for this shit. Oh well.
Be just checking.
It was nice, though, to at least know where I was starting.
Yeah, it is. I would like to say, I just realized there was one thing I forgot when introducing this campaign. We are not using Dungeons and Dragons. We are using a system called Hello, Zero. We're using a system called Fabula Ultima, which is based on Final Fantasy, which is why I'm going to try to give some JRPG flair to the proceedings here. And it works very differently than Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're like, well, wouldn't there be a check for that? Sometimes there is, and sometimes there isn't. It's a different system, and that's going to be fun for all of us. Sorry for the interruption, Edmund. You were doing?
Okay, Edmund moves to the town center, and he spots the fish just lying there. You know, traveling through the woods. It's a little tough going, hunting for your own food, challenging wolves for food. A free meal, not going to pass that up before he continues his exploration.
All right, go on up to that fish. Give it a look-see. That fish is rotten. It is like it looks like months old rotten. It is gross. It is the kind of thing you would only eat if like you had not eaten for weeks.
Had to do my share of scavenging, but you know what? No, not this.
Yeah, you got some fucking standards. All right, we're gonna pause you there. Let's roll my D4 one more time. Well, that's not helpful.
Keep going, Edmund.
All right, Bright Eyes. You
Ah.
know where to start. You've seen it.
I do know where to start. I've seen it.
Yeah.
No. Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes, get your ass over here. So, let's see. I'm gonna pop out my own art for that real quick.
Ooh, you've got your own.
Yeah, I'm... There we go. It took me a second.
You might have to take your character off and put him back on for it to show, because it's looking like the old one. Oh wait,
I
yeah,
got
you're
it.
talking
I
about the
got
Discord
it.
chat. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right, good. All right, excellent. All right, so Bright Eyes, you enter the town of Hansen. Now, Bright Eyes, what's your deal that we're privy to so far?
So, Bright Eyes, that you're privy to, they're kind of an androgynous looking fellow, you think?
Yeah.
If you're looking, there's nothing really, notable about them except for the giant gray cat riding on their backpack.
Yeah. And if you're looking is kind of an important caveat, because you're not dressed super flashy, right?
No, they're dressed in, like, kind of shabby, patched together leather.
Yeah, almost scavenged.
Yep. Like,
Yeah.
like they just kind of slapped it together and ran off into the woods.
So what's your story that you're willing to tell us of why you're arriving in Hansand today?
So the story that they're willing to tell other people is that their family kind of expected things of them that they weren't willing to give, and they took off before they were forced to give it.
It's the kind of story that will alienate a lot of people in the culture of Engelsex, on a surface level, because family values are right up there with hospitality values, in terms of culturally enforced norms. But at the same time, most people in Engelsex get exactly what you're saying when you say it, and while they will not act like they understand, deep down they do understand. And so there is some sort of secret sympathy that is often expressed in small but subtle ways. All right, so you arrive in the town of Houndsend, and you are immediately struck by the fact that there's fucking no one here. Everything you've heard is that this town is populated. There are, you did pass, farmhouses in the distance on the way in. You know that there have to be people living here, and yet no one is around outside. It's the middle of the day. They should be selling their wares in the market, which is where you're at. And looking at the market, you don't really see very much, at least down here where you are at, entering the town. Would you like to explore?
She would. They would. Damn it! I'm trying real hard.
That's all right though. That's fun though. It's like an out of character, in character slip. It's kind of fun.
So they're looking around and
Yeah.
thinking to themselves and also saying out loud, this doesn't look too great, Longshanks. Maybe we should just turn around and go back to the woods.
God damn it! I'm voicing another cat.
I tricked you.
Are
It's
you
okay.
on the
We
map?
we have significantly less players. Yeah. Bright Eyes is exploring the opposite direction, which is really funny because you guys are both on the map, but you don't see each other.
Okay, that's why I don't see her. Okay.
So they're wandering over here, and I will say that outwardly they look more like a boy than they would a woman.
So as you explore by that wheelbarrow, sorry about the blowing my nose thing, but
Alright.
allergies. So your first thought is like, oh god, did everyone die? like, am I in a ghost town? Am I gonna, like, open a door and just find a house with, like, a family of corpses gathered around a table? What the fuck happened here? Was there a plague? Am I gonna catch the plague? But when you go over here, while the tables are bare, the wheelbarrow is, for the most part, bare. They aren't abandoned. They're not covered in dust. There is a recent streak of mud on the wheels of the wheelbarrow.
Oh,
This is not a ghost town. People are here. People have been in this area recently. They just aren't now for whatever reason.
yeah. The hair on the back of his head, neck, and just kind of rises up. There's a shifty-eyed look around the entire place.
And you see a big cat monster, man?
There's a pause. And then she ducks around behind this wheelbarrow.
It's a good spot as any to introduce another character, I think.
I volunteer as tribute this time because this is now a funny moment to come into town.
All right, come on in, Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. He's just
Mont
a little
Blanc,
guy.
tell us your deal, Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc was once just a simple fella who lived in the woods and did some work, and he met a lady on the side of the road who was like really nice to talk to. Sure, was it a crossroads? Technically, yes. Was it, hey, a deer path in the middle of the woods? Yes, that as well. But the lady gave him a book and a mission, and he went, well, I'm not doing anything better, and I want to see the world anyway.
Why did the lady give you a book and a mission?
I was nice!
Mm-hmm. Like,
I
do you
was
remember
polite.
anything about the conversation?
Oh, the player remembers a lot about the conversation, but in particular, it was sympathy with beings and not feeling part of society and more of the natural world itself.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like
sure,
a nice old lady.
yeah, she was a little tall, but can't judge people on height.
Little tall.
All right. So you've been trying to explore the world as per your mission. Is there a specific thing about exploring the world that you're looking for?
I am looking for monsters and creatures and all sorts of weird and bizarre animals.
Yeah, to
I'm
find
going
all
to
the living things.
I'll put the picture that I lined and colored here, if I can get to it. Where did it go? There it went. No, that's the wrong folder.
I can get it up for it if you want
I
me
got
to.
you, bro. He's up on the screen.
Oh,
That also works. Yeah.
So it has been going so far so well. He's even gotten a new friend. This is Barnaby. Barnaby doesn't say a whole lot.
Barnaby is a barnacle goose, which is an actual creature from medieval bestiaries. It's a goose that hatches from a barnacle. In the Midgeheimer version, it's a goose that has evolved to resemble, or it's a barnacle that has evolved to resemble a goose.
The most
So it's a goose imitating barnacle, a barnacle goose.
Barnacle goose. So Mont Blanc is traveling to see more fantastic and magical creatures and record them in his book. There are no consequences to this. He just
Nope.
has to record 100.
Yep, just gotta find 100 or more to see, and then you'll be the bestiary master. All right. So you've entered the town of Hans End, and you notice to your delight that most, if not all, of the people seem to not be around, which means it's quiet and very welcoming.
Mont Blanc will look around and be like, "Oh, I didn't realize there was something going on. Excellent for us, isn't that right, Barnaby?" Yes. Just if we do run into anybody, do be polite. We don't need anything happening. And good old Mont Blanc and Barnaby just kind of start moseying in down the middle.
Barnaby immediately spreads its chitinous, feathery. So a barnacle has these mouth parts that are these feathery, frilly little tentacle things that are like segmented and stuff, that emerge from its shell. And for a barnacle goose, those double as wings. and Barnaby spreads these chitinous spiderweb monstrosities wide and immediately flies through that rotten fish by Edmund and starts eating the fish because a rotten fish is exactly the kind of thing a barnacle goose loves. Notably, the mouth of the barnacle goose is not the goose head. That is actually, originally it was the stalk of the barnacle, the thing that adheres to things. And while it can grab with its head, it can't eat. Instead, it has to just sort of shove things into the back of its body, where those feathery wings and other protuberances grab it and pull it into its actual mouth and ingest it. So essentially, it shoves the fish up its ass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Edmund, you see a horrifying monstrosity land by the fish and shove the fish up its ass.
Followed quickly by a Barnaby. No! Consummate Barnaby.
For a moment, he debates whether or not maybe that's food. That thing could be food, but then he's like, "No, if it ain't that, it's got to be something really weird."
Also, looking at it with a shell that hard, you would have to at least boil it for a few hours before you could chew through it, even with your tusks.
So Mont Blanc will shove himself in front of. We just said his name, Edmund. Excellent, cool. I did have it memorized. Shove himself in front of Edmund and like start wrestling with Barnaby. Like, no, it's not yours. Stop.
No, that's too late. That fish is firmly up that barnacle's ass, which is actually its mouth.
I really, I hate.
Con-
Hating this.
Consarnate Barnaby. I can't take you anywhere.
I'm so glad you chose a barnacle goose as your animal companion.
Like, I gave you a whole bunch of weird ones, and I'm like, this is so messed up. I gotta have it. Mont Blanc will turn around, stare chest tight, look up, assuming he's taller, and go, "Oh, my apologies, good sir. I was trying to gather my companion, Barnaby." "Oh, my apologies. Where are my manners? I'm Mont Blanc. It is a pleasure to meet you," he says, extending a hand outward.
Hey there, I'm Edmund Guilford. You're, used to people at this point kind of running and screaming when they see me.
"Oh, I could understand why someone might do that, but I am actually here in town on a very important quest of sorts. And I was wondering, given that we've just met, but you fit the bill pretty well, may I sketch you?"
Sketch me?
"Yes. Oh, here, let me explain." And he will reach to his side and pull out a book, probably almost 1.5 feet tall, 8 inches wide. There is firmly an eye in the center of it.
Mm-hmm. It moves.
It moves. And he is just nonplussed, unreacting to it. He opens it. It's like, "I was given an interesting task to document magical creatures of all varieties. And if I may say so, sir, you do have that air of chimeric quality around you."
A magical creature? I'm not a magical creature. I'm a human.
As you sketch him in your book, just as it did with Barnaby, words appear beneath him that say, "Sir Edmund Guilford, the Cursed Prince," and then description.
Oh, fairy's a petty
Oh,
little
that's
bitch.
perfect.
And there was just a pause of him going, "Oh, that's a new one." But he will, once he finishes the sketch, will turn around and show it, including the text. And he goes, "I do not write the text. It just generates on itself. This is a magical tome of some nature. But it is a pleasure to meet you, Prince Edmund."
Edmund, you also see while looking at the book the entry for the barnacle goose, which says, "Barnacle goose. Description. The barnacle, but walks like a goose. Still a barnacle, though. loves eating carrion, especially from the sea, has some of the temperament of a goose, but also the laid-back, chill vibes of a barnacle.
Well, that explains what that is, but hold on, why is this book laughing at me? Who
I
gave you this book?
A kind lady I met on the road? She did not offer her name, nor did I ask.
It's suspicious.
Oh, most probably, but you can't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they do say. And like, there's a pause. Like, do horses count? No, horses are
I'm
not.
pretty sure you should look a gift horse into a mouth if I remember the story correctly. How that went.
As these two are discussing the ethics of gift horse mouses, Bright Eyes, have you have noticed by this point that a man has approached the strange monster and seems to be conversing with it in a pleasant manner? That man also has some sort of long-necked shelled creature, perhaps a sort of armored tortoise? You can't quite see from here.
They're still, like, weighing their options. It's like, do I want any of that at all? Eventually, she just kind of comes around the wheelbarrow and leans against it and waits for somebody to...
As you do, our fourth traveler finally arrives on the scene. Charles, go ahead and place yourself on the map there. Charles, in charge. Can you describe yourself for our players at home while we look at your beautiful image?
Walking into town, rather tall, loud footsteps kind of clopping actually against the cobblestone because this person does not have human feet but rather hooves as a minotaur walks into town, also clacking against the stone with a walking staff, wearing what looks to be decently kept but fairly old-fashioned bronze armor and a shield that would be very large on anyone else if they were carrying it. And they walk into town, what looks to be like a small cask or barrel tied to their back as they walk into town, just kind of looking around curiously.
I had drawn the drawing by the time he told me there was a barrel, otherwise I would have included it.
Let's go. I just think it's behind.
Inks and Colors by Skada. The art that you will be seeing here is all sort of most of it is a joint work between me and Skada. Gray inked and colored his character. And Scene inked and colored his character. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, so we're all collaborating. That's actually one of the rules of Fabula Ultima, the RPG system we're using that so far I really love, even though we haven't done any of the mechanics of it yet in-game. And I'm kind of advertising it with this campaign because I like it to the 3 people who watch our D&D stuff. Okay, so Charles, what brings you to Hans End?
Well, it's one long stop, another stop on a list of just trying to find my way home.
Yeah, you poor lost bastard.
I'm not quite sure how I got here. I mean, I know how I got to this town, but I'm not sure how I got to this, country.
Yeah. It's been a trip. Well, we'll dive more into that tragic backstory when it feels story appropriate. But for now, you are lost. You have arrived in Hansend, a town that does not normally see minotaurs, because minotaurs, of course, are native to the Greek mythology-inspired land of Mediterra, and we are in the British folklore-inspired land of Bretance, specifically the Anglo-Saxon folklore-inspired kingdom of Anglesex. So you are, in many ways, far from home. But a simple farmer and a minotaur. So you arrive on the scene, you hear some commotion to your left-hand side, and you also spot Sort of in the distance, kind of in your periphery, a person dart out from behind a wheelbarrow and sidle into a corner between the wheelbarrow and a table, which is weird. Other than that, there are no people on the streets, and all the little roadside stands seem, for the most part, bare of any food.
Looking around and then look over at the two talking, see the monstrous person not really phased by that, just kind of go, is there like a festival or something I didn't know about? Where is everybody?
That's when the three of you all notice that a fucking minotaur has walked in. Most of you probably don't know what the word minotaur is, actually. You probably would just look at this and think, is that a bull or a person? Is that a bull man?
So someone else has been cursed too.
Oh, how delightful! If you'll pardon me, Sir Edmund. Do. Hello, good sir. Are you new to town as well?
Steph like, no, fuck up.
Just like politely step back and like, just kind of. Actually, the step back was seeing the barnacle goose. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
it is a bizarre thing to see. Not necessarily it's not repulsive. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah, it's more of a like, oh, what was that kind of reaction rather than ew.
Oh, I see you've noticed my friend. This is Barnaby. And Mont Blanc will reach down and pick up Barnaby to bring him up for a closer look. It's fine. Don't worry. We're just saying hello. So this is my good friend Barnaby. He's traveling with me. He is a barnacle goose, according to my wonderful book here. I am Mont Blanc of the village of Ulm, not too far away from here. It's about a week and a half's hike. I just recently came into town to meet both new people and potentially see new creatures that I have never met before. You will have to forgive me. I do come from a bit of a limited background. Are you a cursed person like Sir Edmund over there?
Kind of gets this like funny look on his face, like, are you kidding, kid? Kind of look. Before he goes, personally, no.
Clearly, you're cursed just like me.
No, I was born like this, just like my parents. Historically, my people say we have a cursed origin, but that's, anyways, no, not cursed. Cursed, maybe. He kind of looks over at the third person and then like seeing them creep up a little bit closer and then back to the others. It's just like, has anyone heard of Asympton? Just in this just this tone of voice, it's just like clearly not expecting a positive answer.
I'm going to answer that for all of you. You have fucking not.
Nope.
I have no idea. I've never heard that name before in my life.
No, sorry.
Yes, I have not heard of any of the towns I've been to in the last few months as well. I have been displaced. I'm not from around here. But no, there are others just like me where I come from. Even more, actually, from where our village came from.
Oh, well, that's quite pleasant to hear. I do apologize. I believe the term that the person in the last town said was sheltered, so I am experiencing the world for the first time. I have a bit of an odd request for you. If you
I've
do not
started to learn that comparatively, I have also led a sheltered existence. I was just content to stay on my farm. But I'm sorry, you had a request?
Yes, I have a bit of an odd request. I was given a very similar task of wandering to fill this wonderful tome here, he says, lifting the tome with a very clearly moving eye, full of magical and beyond mundane beings and creatures. And I was wondering if I could sketch you.
Kind of squints for a second, just
Here, let me show you. And he'll open it to the first page, and it'll have the barnacle goose, and it'll have Sir Edmund. And I go, so I usually fill the drawing, and the book fills out the necessary information. Except for Edmund
Right.
here. All it has done is just laugh. I don't know what that means.
It's kind of a rude book.
It was nice about Barnaby.
Also, yes,
Who are you?
there is just somebody standing there now.
I can only see mine and Gray's icons. Are you the rest of you not have your icons on there?
I should be right here.
Oh,
I'm
weird.
right here.
Huh.
Try refreshing roll 20.
Yeah.
Roll20 does that shit sometimes. It's just a weirdo.
Are you gonna sketch Charles?
Yes, with his permission, of course.
And he's just like, curious request, but sure.
All right. Beneath your sketch, it says, Charles, the Minotaur. Description. Descended of the son of Minos, abused, neglected son of Minos. The great Minotaurs are a proud and noble people who have served the country of Minotaura far better than it has served them. Charles hails from the town of Aesopton. Far, far from here.
So you're from Aesopton, if I'm pronouncing this correctly.
It should be Aesopton. I just, my brain sees the A and it goes Aesop.
I'm allowed to
Aesop.
have,
Sure.
I am
Aesop.
allowed to have mispronunciations in character.
I'm not. I'm the DM. I'm supposed to be good.
Well,
Here. So
And-
this is what the book has said about you and your
Looks it over
Minotaurs.
and goes, yeah, that tracks.
It hasn't changed from the laughter for you though, Sir Edmund.
If anything, more is just being added.
How come it didn't laugh at him? Stupid book.
I don't know
Hey,
if I can. Could you
Congratulations, Gray. That's 3 out of 100.
There's a reason I'm just going out the gate.
As this happens, you guys start to hear something. Music begins to play from the inn and the big building at the center of the town square, or at the top center, I suppose. And you look and you see a sign that says Tin Soldier Inn and Tavern, and you do see that while there are drapes in the windows, there is light coming from inside, music, and now that you're paying attention to it specifically, you even hear the faint in the distance sounds of human activity.
Well, that must be where the people are. And hopefully that witch, too.
You cut off a bit for me, Scene.
So that's where those people are. And hopefully that witch, too.
Ooh, you're looking for a witch.
Yes! I'm
Okay,
looking for...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm looking for the Heartless Witch of Handsand. Apparently that's what she's called, or something like that. She might be the one who cursed me, and if she is, I'll rip her throat out and then make her change me back.
shouldn't you do that the other
What?
way around?
Yes.
It
I'll
would be
figure
hard
it
to
out.
it would hard to be reversed that afterwards.
Who are you?
I am Unplug. This is Barnaby.
You... a person with the cat.
Wow.
Oh, Bright Eyes.
Okay, Bright Eyes. Well, I'm Edmund.
Nice to meet you, Edmund. I'm sorry the book laughs at you. That's kind of not nice.
It's not. It's like life itself has been laughing at me for these past several months.
Oh, you sweet edgy boy.
But anyway, nice to meet you all and everything. But I have a witch to find in Gut. Probably.
All right, so I assume Edmund is heading towards the tavern.
Yep.
What about the rest of you?
Bright Eyes
We
is-
probably should follow after him.
There's hesitation from Bright Eyes, and their eyes dart back to the weird scene of the entirety of this marketplace. It's like hesitates, but they will follow eventually.
Yeah. Charles kind of muttering to himself, something's weird about this town.
All right. Okay. Do me a favor. Remove your characters from the board for now before we head to the next map, so that way they're all good and gone. If we come back here and we can enter afresh,
How do you remove them?
just click them and delete.
Yep.
Don't worry about it now. It's fine. Okay. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the map, you'll see yourselves.
Yep.
Let's undo that.
Oops.
I'm gonna just. I had to modify it to fit this map. We're sort of in the equivalent of an anime where you can tell which kids are the main characters by their hair color. Only in this case, it's which kids are the main characters by the fact that they're in a chibi style rather than in fairly realistic proportion style. That's okay. Eventually, I'll make a bunch of chibi NPCs to fill scenes like these with.
It's fine.
But for now, we're doing with the ones that Incarnate had. I made my character, like one custom character on this sheet, 4 blocks wide, and that seemed to look not horrible with the proportions of everything. That's what I would suggest. Maybe just 2 blocks. Just stretch them out to 2 blocks. If I could probably just do that for you.
It's
Actually.
up to the DM to change size of tokens, I think.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that would follow. Give me a second here.
I always have to do it manually for DZ and Brandon Tide.
Yeah, now that I think about it, Nora does it manually too. There we go. Look at you all. That's more proportionate. You'd look less freakish if all these characters. All right. Okay. You are in the Tin Soldier Inn and Tavern, and when you come in, it is fucking bustling with people. It's almost like the entire village is here. They are eating, they are carousing, tables are filled with food that isn't rotten, and mead and wine. There are children, there are the elderly, there's everyone, literally everyone that fills this town is here. In one corner, there is a guy who has way too much beer and is not holding it well. There's a bunch of other little scenes I sort of built in here because I was fucking around and having fun. We don't have to worry about that. I just wanted to point that one out in the bottom right-hand corner
This man
because,
over
yeah, that guy, he's having a time of it. So, you come into this, bustling bar. If anyone would like to make a will, power, and insight check,
Okay.
you may. So what this means, in Fabula Ultima, there are 4 stats. Might, dexterity, willpower, and insight. I don't think they're in that order, but, fuck it. Each of those stats has a die associated with it for each character. The die will range from, like, a D6 to a D12. Or generally a D6 to a D10. And you have all, like, I should have allocated that at character creation. And checks will always require you to roll 2 die. Sometimes they'll require you to roll the same die twice. Or other times they'll require you to combine a dice like your willpower dice and your insight dice. And that's basically how most shit in Fabula Ultima works. So, if anyone would like to roll a willpower plus insight check.
I would like to.
Alright,
We
Bright
have
Eyes.
to determine what we're doing, though, right?
Right now I'm just
Roll.
asking you to roll it to I'm gonna say it's to notice. Yeah, like you can suggest it. Right now I'm gonna like lead you into it a little bit because it's our tutorial session, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
This is to check the room for things that you'd notice beyond just the fact that people are carousing and having a good time.
That is
Oh, shit! That is good because the check is a difficulty 10. Okay. Bright Eyes. You are a fairly emotionally intelligent person. And as such, you're able to pick up on the exact mood of the room. And while everyone is laughing and, smiling and interacting in a pleasant way, it has the distinct vibe of when people are laughing at the reception service for a wake. When they're telling anecdotes about the departed and all the good times they had with them, where, yeah, everyone is sharing happiness and mirth right now, but it's mingled with sadness, and the two emotions have the same source.
Her face kind of falls, and she grabs the cat from her backpack and kind of hugs it. If anybody is looking at her.
Yeah. Alternatively, if you don't want to do an insight willpower check, you can also just do a straight insight check. So that'd be 2 insight dice. So, which will be for a different thing to notice. Charles, you also notice this sort of slight melancholy vibe beneath the laughter. To you, it reminds you of the few times you've gone to a town and been welcomed cheerfully and have felt briefly like you're at home, only to suddenly remember upon reflection that you are not. That while these people are kind to you and they are welcoming you, they are not your family, they are not your friends from home, and you are still very far from where you want to be. Mont Blanc, you failed that roll, but not like a critical fail, so yeah. Sorry about that. And I should get out my Fabula Ultimate cheat sheet, because I gotta remember if normal failures still give you a Fabula point. Yep, they don't. Okay, so that's good. Good to know. So, Edmund, you did not get it, but your generic roll of 10 did succeed. Edmund, you notice that everyone in this area looks a bit hungry. Especially the kids. Because their bodies have that, fast-working metabolism. The kids all look a bit scared as they're sitting at this party with lots of food and drink. So as you guys get the vibe, no one has noticed you. They're all focusing on the party and the music. And then the doors at the back of the tavern open. And this woman comes out. She's short, but she has this big presence even when she's just walking that kind of, forces you to pay attention. And she's very stoutly built. And she immediately shouts, "Why are we so quiet? It's a going away party! Come on, eat up, drink!" It's not every day Liani leaves town! Come on, I want to see some happy faces! One last good memory for me, let's go! And everyone cheers to whoever the fuck this person is, and begins, shoveling down the food and guzzling down the alcohol. And you see this woman go from table to table like the hostess of a party. Come on, it's on my tab. Quit eating like you're scared. Come on, hey kid, come on, eat up, get more of those sausages. And she's just, encouraging everyone to revel and to take part of the party. And eventually, she stops about in the middle of things, notices you guys, and comes to you all and says, "Hey, wait a minute, I haven't seen you guys around here before."
Well, we just got into town literally just 2 minutes ago.
Wow, well, you came in on the best day. Come on, have a seat, get some food.
I won't refuse food, I suppose.
Yeah, don't worry, it's all free. It's all on Leone Imbecile. Moving on to bigger and better things. Come on, everybody. Let's have a party. Let's see some happy faces for once. And she starts moving in to check on some of the other guests. What do you guys do now that you're at this sort of thriving tavern?
This is weird, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
Look for a table with some food?
Yeah, you get to table and people, the people at the table look at you a little queerly at first, and they pass you the food, and one of them says, "Did you see that heartless witch?"
What?
You there?
Which way?
Oh, both of you. Now she's turned them into cows and cats.
A heartless
Uh,
witch.
Charles looks like he's gonna correct them, but then just goes quiet, like just that look of like it's not worth it.
Are they like saying that to us, or just kind of like?
They're saying it to you. They're trying to welcome you in and ask about your condition in the not exactly elegant way of a peasant.
Yes. I dig one of my claws into the table. A witch did transform me into this form. That's why I'm here to find the heartless witch.
Cursed be that cruel harlot! If only the knights had gotten her! We wouldn't be suffering this. No, don't talk about that today.
Nice.
Yeah, don't mention the famine! Come on, let's eat! I did not spend this much money importing this much food for nothing. Come on, let's eat, people!
Famine. Okay.
There's a famine! All the crops are dying! That's why I'm gonna get fucking wasted!
Yeah.
I'm ruined! I got nothing, I don't got savings! And when the winter comes, I'm gonna fucking starve!
I'm guessing that's this drunk fellow over
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come over here and go, yeah. What? Do you know what caused this famine?
Okay, buddy, you're getting a little whoa, right up my skirt. Okay, you're getting a little heavy. Let's just it's okay. It's okay. Listen, you're gonna figure something out. You're gonna get out of town. It's gonna be fine. Just let's just cut back on the liquor. Yeah, okay. So there is a famine sort of hitting our little happy town. It's kind of a big deal. It's been 2 months and all the crops keep rotting. We plant new ones and they rot too. It hasn't been working out well. People hunt things and the food rots as soon as it comes to the town square. It's a little unsettling, but good news. A lot of us do have enough to afford to be able to move before winter comes. So it's they're all gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. That's why I'm throwing the party for everybody. Okay, everyone have fun. All right, have fun.
I bet the witch is behind this too.
There's just a
Pat on the back.
yeah. I'm over here soothing this poor drunk asshole. Like, what's going on around here? This is
Doesn't sound like a normal famine. That's
Come on now.
it's
Come on,
quiet as
come on.
she
Take it
moves.
from me, who? I think I know a little thing or two about curses. The lady said that their town square is cursed to make things rot. Clearly the heartless witch is behind this, and she's behind my transformation.
Yeah, kill her! No, don't tell them to do that, you fool. They'll never come back.
Have you sent people before?
Oh, loads of times. Ever since she moved in, we've been sending people trying to oust that fiendish creature. And all that comes back are swine and jackasses. She turns
So she is.
them into beasts. The bacon's good, though. Dude, don't tell him about that part.
Oh God.
We only did it the
What?
once. We didn't know.
How much do they use?
Yeah, okay, let's stop talking shit about our neighbors. Let's go back to having a party, okay? It's a fun time. Yay! Oh, fuck, I cannot get to Peralt soon enough.
What?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're strangers. So, I got a marriage proposal from this baron in the city of Peralt. It was very out of the blue, very sudden. He didn't even want a dowry. He just is just really lonely, I guess. And he's fucking loaded. So I am leaving, like,
Kabolt
first thing
von
in the...
Hubert?
Yeah, Baron Kabolt von Hubert. Yeah, apparently, like, his last fiance flaked on him, so...
Yes, that's what I heard. That's what I heard while I was traveling through here.
Yeah, he was just, like... His letter was really sad, and also he has a lot of money, so... and also this town's going through a famine, and Peralt's not, so I figured I'd just sort of, take the money ticket out.
The hat is over Bright Eyes' eyes, and she's like, well, I'm glad that he's found somebody to not be lonely with.
Yeah! Yeah, I just felt bad about, I've been living here for about 5 years, working as a merchant, felt kind of attached to his place a little bit. Didn't want to leave with everybody all depressed, and since he doesn't want the dowry, I figured, what the hell, let's just blow some big bucks here.
Fair enough. Well, I do wish you the best of luck. He's not had the best with other lovers, from what I've heard.
Oh, yeah.
Most awkward.
Multiple widower. That's, got a lot of money, though, so... Alright, it's a party! Come on, kid. Seriously, stop acting like you're afraid you're gonna get caught for stealing. Eat the fucking food. I'm sorry, eat the damn food. There you go. Alright, hey, look, those sweets are not for show. You are allowed to have them!
Speaking of firework, does this fruit seem weird?
Like the food?
Yeah. Or is
No,
it like...
okay, well, here's the thing. Everything here is stuff that has been shipped from another town, which means it had at least a couple days' journey. So it's all been heavily, preserved. It's all jerked. It's all things like candy, hard candy.
Salted.
It's delicious. It's like stuff that has been deep fried. All things that were made to transport. And as a result, there are also things that are very hard to rot right away. That's the reason you make jerky. If you're going on a long journey and you're not assured of having food every night, the jerky will keep as food that's edible for a long time. So there's the big thing is that there's just a shitload of it. So this woman must have been fucking loaded. It is a very expensive party that they are having right here. And from the sounds of it, none of the villagers are paying a cent of the bill.
She's very
She was
generous.
kind of rich before this.
She is a generous soul.
Yes, she is.
Horrible old man from scene 24 approaches the table and says, "So, you wish to see the Heartless Witch, do you?"
Yes,
I mean, it can't hurt. Can't hurt to say hello.
Yes, that fiendish scallywag. She almost certainly is the one who's cursed this town to wretched destitute. Yes, she lives in the Ridgetooth Mountains, past the Ridgetooth River, which is next to Blackmire Swamp, which is just on the outskirts of our small little town here. But beware, for the woods and mountains are lousy with wolves. It is a time of darkness. Yes. But if you destroy the witch, her curses will unravel, and all who have suffered here may live a prosperous life And then I'll finally get my gold doubloons. Okay, Grandpa, get away from the strangers. I'm sorry about that. He's got dementia. Which would not be diagnosed in a vaguely medieval fantasy land, William. Fuck!
It's fine.
It's fine.
You know, actually, I think dementia probably does have roots in some. Like, the word demented is fucking old. It's fine.
They would probably just flat out call him demented.
Yeah.
Wolves. I've ran into my fair share of wolves. Not so bad, really. Nothing my claws can't handle. There's some weird ones that are like, you know, you gotta be careful about those ones, but otherwise they're not so bad.
I have been, when I've been walking around by the neighboring towns, a lot of folks have been worried about something's been stirring up the wolves, and like they're not even like normal wolves; they're big and
There are
Yeah, the
another
weird
one.
ones.
So
and
fun.
something about a ravening beast.
There is a fun note. Around Peralt, they are mysteriously absent.
Oh.
At least I didn't see him as much as when I was coming from there.
Right, because I assume you would have filled your book with the weird ones if you saw them.
Yes, I just saw normal ones.
There are a lot of normal ones.
There are a lot of normal ones.
The villagers, the other towns kept saying ravening beast, stirring them up, some kind of new pack leader or something.
That can't mean anything. They just all call me the Ravening Beast. I think they're just talking about me. And believe me, I'm not doing anything to the wolf pack. They're the ones bothering me.
Yes, you're the ravening beast. Oh God!
That's what they've been calling me.
Oh.
I believe the good sir is drawing on his vomit here. Hold on a second.
Pick him up out of this. You know.
Yeah. I was like, lean the head to the left,
Put 'em
you'll
on
be
his
fine.
side.
Oh, 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 I'm gonna fucking die in the winter. Oh,
Do you have anywhere to go?
I don't got money to go anywhere. You gotta get supplies to take a trip. You gotta get supplies to get a house. All I've got is my farm. And my farm's not producing shit. At least I don't got kids.
That's pretty rough. Almost as rough as being turned into a giant cat monster thing.
Yeah, that would suck pretty hard.
Yeah. But I think a couple of those other guys said something about the knights going after the witch too. What happened with that?
Well, we sent some guys with pitchforks first, and they didn't come back, and pigs did, and we were like, oh, free pigs. That was a pretty good night, and then we saw the witch around, and we couldn't find those other guys. We figured something happened to them, so we talked, and eventually one of the guys, like a knight or something, sent some soldiers, and they went up, and then some donkeys came back. That was weird, but free donkeys. We asked for more help, and some better soldiers came back, and then we got some more pigs and donkeys, and that's when we kind of figured out what was going on with that. Felt really bad about that first barbecue.
It's just an awkward pat on the back.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
man. Chutney tasted good, though.
God.
I'm assuming it was him.
The Minotaur grimaces even as he's eating like a sausage or something.
Knights throwing their lives away.
Oh, we didn't actually see an actual knight, just soldiers. The guy we contacted, eventually he was like, I'm gonna stop throwing people to die for you. We were like, yeah, that's fair. So we just got a witch living out in the woods with all the other monsters. So that's just a thing we gotta deal with. And now we got a famine. All the little kids are starving. It's terrible.
When did all of the food start rotting like this?
Well, I mean, we've had a pretty lean seasons ever since the king died, and they've been getting leaner. But like, when we started planting this season, that's when it just started immediately just rotting.
Was this
And then it's-
before or after you had the problems with the witch?
Oh, she's been here for like 30 years. Yeah, I was like 14 when that bitch moved. Sorry, I shouldn't say there's kids around. When that woman came in, yeah, walked into town, asked to buy a house. We chased her out, and then she made like a castle in the mountains. I don't know why she wanted to buy a house if she could just make a fucking castle, but the witches, I guess.
Perhaps it was companionship. I guess they get lonely.
I don't think about that. If you're gonna get lonely, why be a witch? Why not be a normal?
Do you think they have that kind of control? I genuinely don't know.
I'm assuming a witch is like a wizard and you just read books a lot. And that makes you weird. That's why I don't do any reading.
There's a whisper, clearly. It wouldn't hurt to go and ask the witch what's going on.
I think it would, though. I think she'd turn you into a pig or a donkey, or... I guess she's doing cows now, as he points to Charles.
Well,
Related.
then I'm a pig or a donkey.
At least she let you talk. Oh, I need more booze.
Again, Charles looks like he's ready to correct, but then at hearing that, it's just like, never mind. Won't remember the explanation if I did tell him.
Bright Eyes is starting to go for the door.
Yes, let's go. I'm gonna slay that witch.
Okay. As you guys head for the door, Leone, who is still encouraging children in particular to eat up, despite their shyness, sees you guys and immediately bolts for the door and is like, hey, you're not leaving yet, right? I don't even know your names yet. Haven't seen any smiles. And she gestures of herself to smile.
Oh, my
Bright Eyes
apologies.
will smile at her. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My dearest apologies. I am Montblanc, and this is Barnaby. I don't know if Barnaby will smile.
Whoa, that is a weird little thing you got there.
He's a barnacle goose.
Yep, that sounds like what I'm looking at. All
I
right.
don't know what a barnacle is either.
Oh, it's a thing on ships. Yeah, when you're transporting a lot of freight across long distances, barnacles are these little rock things that grow on ships, but they're actually alive. You also find them on large sea creatures sometimes. You learn these things when you're a merchant. Particularly, you got to scrape the barnacles off because it doesn't make a presentable ship. And you want your ship to look good when you are presenting the merchandise, or else people think, oh, I don't want to buy from this dingy little ship. So you got to get the... I'm sorry, I'm boring you. Say, party, fun, food. Just because you're from out of town doesn't mean you're not welcome. We've got plenty, and if we don't eat it today, who knows if it'll be edible tomorrow.
I appreciate your generosity, but I kind of... She looks at the kids and she's like, I think there's others that need it more than I do.
Yeah, that's true. There are people who need full bellies. I would not recommend staying in Hanzan long. It is dire.
She's gonna
That's why I'm off to slay a witch.
Yeah,
Oh no, you're not going after that lady in the mountain, are you?
Bright Eyes just
Let me
kind of, like, gestures her to whisper at her. She goes, I don't
Go on.
know why suddenly after 30 years she would try to kill you all.
They've been trying to kill her for 30 years, ever since she got here. I think if she wanted to blight us, she would have done it a lot sooner, especially when they were sending actual guys with swords.
So it stands to reason if we go ask her, maybe she can tell us what's going on.
And if she's not to blame, maybe she can figure out how to deal with the curse.
Maybe if she's not the one that did that to Edmund, was your name? Maybe she could at least help.
Yes. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think your friend's a pig or a donkey, so it doesn't really seem like her MO. Unless she's changing things. Well, okay. If you can help the people here, I'd appreciate that. That'd be even better than leaving with a smile, actually, if everyone was going to be okay. Well, thanks. Thanks for coming to my party. Nice to see you all. Probably will never see you again. Have a good time. Bye!
Have a happy engagement.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't even seen the guy yet. Oh, but the money, though. Okay, bye!
Bye.
Funny though.
Be cautious and be safe.
Ah, fuck that!
Thanks for the
Bye!
Boy.
All right. So, you guys have been given your directions, and you are now heading out to find the Witch of the Mountains. So, go ahead and delete your characters a second.
Unless you guys want to stay here and talk more, Bright Eyes is leaving.
You got everything you
Is
need.
there like a fast delete button?
I'm just gonna grab you. There you go. Okay. Before we go to our next map, I want to go back to our little waiting area map here, and just see. So if you might have to zoom out to get to that corner, but if you look at the town of Hansend in the bottom left-hand corner, you can actually see this little hidden pathway through past the Blackmire Marsh and the Ridgetooth River into the Ridgetooth Mountains themselves, and that is where you are heading.
Over here.
Yeah, right there. So
It's nice to know I'm so close to Peralt because I'm not going there.
okay. So I'll go ahead and delete these characters we don't need. Oh, I can't just do that, can I? All right, well, let's do it one by one. Fine, fucking D20. No, frazzle. Okay, so you guys all begin in that top left-hand corner of the map. You are now in the. I should turn the music to the actual appropriate music. I'll get this rhythm eventually. Don't you worry. Our interlude music is. Oh, that's a good one. Bum. So stop you. Stop it. Where are we? You're up here somewhere, you son of a bitch. Spring selfie, no time selfie. There we go.
I was gonna ask, as coming from a town that has ties to Mediterra, does this whole thing about a witch turning people into swine and asses sound familiar?
Yeah, you definitely are getting some Cersei vibes.
Yeah.
And if you remember with Cersei, like, she wasn't exactly doing it without purpose. Odysseus's men were kind of assholes. All right, so here you are in the mountains. Go ahead and move in the direction that you would like, and I will start revealing things to you. Yes.
What are you
explore.
all taking around for? What are you all after this witch for?
Well,
Well?
I'm not after her. I kind of want to see if she can help that town.
Yeah.
I wish to see if the poor town needs help.
Clearly, she's the one cursing it.
That would be important information as well. However, she might count for the book. I just don't know.
So, if she wanted to do something to the town, she had 30 years to do it.
Yep. I've also found that, like, as long as you're nice to people, generally, they're fairly nice to you.
All right, you're traveling. Which way do you want to go? You're at a little crossroads here.
Mm.
Down or up?
Where do you think
What?
Longshanks?
What kind of a cat is he? He's really interesting.
I don't know. Elongated.
What kind of check, TT, would I need to use to try? Because we haven't seen the river yet, right?
You passed the river.
Oh, we passed the river. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a river map when the river is actually important.
Okay. Trying to think with our location where we're going. Can I use an inspect check to look for like signs of like other travelers, like footprints and stuff?
Yeah, you know what? I'll allow that. I'll allow you to make an inspect check. Now, normally, Fabula Ultima has, to explain for the audience, Fabula Ultima does not have set checks as it was, but it does have some suggested checks if you're looking for options. The idea being that sometimes, say, investigating the pub will be, a willpower thing where you're sort of, checking people's, emotions. Other times it might be an intelligence thing, like you're picking out people who are moving a little bit oddly, like they're trying to hide something. And those could both technically be considered the same check, but they're using different dice because you're using different things in your character to give you a reason to understand that. So there are no necessarily set checks. We do have our suggested checks, which we'll probably rely on quite a bit as we're starting out, before I get better at declaring ones and giving them names and shit.
Do I get my +2 modifier for like wild checks too on this?
Absolutely. That's another thing. Fabula Ultima wants you to bring your character background and stuff into play as often as you can. Okay. So, inspect 8. You do see tracks going both ways, but the tracks seem a bit more frenzied going down, as if the people going down would be more excited. As if they were charging into something.
I bet the witch is to the south.
Okay.
I trust you.
That was easy.
Yeah, it was. The DC for that check was 10. And as you are here,
I no longer trust you.
Ah!
No longer.
Weird wolves.
why, my friends, I believe this means... Oh, no, wait, that's not the one I want.
These aren't normal wolves, are they?
No, they are not. I'm gonna pop up a nice picture in our little chat here. We are fighting our first level of Arcane Wolf. These are Barghest. They're like wolves, but they're more heavily built. They're bigger, and with your connection to earth magic, they're significantly more durable. But just like wolves, they hunt in packs, and their numbers have been growing and growing and growing ever since the king's death. Okay. We're in a combat. We get to roll initiative.
I have a -1.
Oh, that's nothing.
Okay, so first,
-3.
determine a leader. Who is our leader?
Edmund.
Okay. Made sense. I'm the one who went south first. Work for everybody?
That works.
Yes.
So, I'm not seeing the roll. I'm seeing your inspect. There it is.
There we
Okay,
go.
you're. Okay, there's Bright Eyes'. There's Edmund's is a 4. But you got doubles?
Yeah, I guess.
You got 2s. You don't happen to have a thing that
Nice.
makes a double to crit, do you?
Like from one of my skills, let's double
Yeah,
check.
sometimes skills will, like, normally crits are on double sixes and up. But there are some skills that let crits count for anything, any doubles, so long as they're not double ones.
I have frenzy, but that wouldn't be anything for initiative.
Alright, okay. Then, everyone else needs to roll their initiative, and they're going to add to yours to try and boost it up. Sadly, they don't have bonds with you, so we can't invoke those yet for boosting, but they can still, this is still a support check by nature, so that's okay. We'll get you there. And I've got to roll initiative for my wonderful wolvies here. Oh, their init is just 9. Okay, so if everyone can add 5 points total to this, we can get them there. We can get them to be first. And looking at it, we've got 1 success. So that's an initiative of 5. The wolves go first. Luckily, that is less devastating than you might think. Because all this means is that one wolf goes first in combat, then one of you guys, then another wolf, then one of you guys, then another wolf, then one of you guys, then another wolf, then another wolf. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, well, no. So,
Yeah.
it's wolf, PC, wolf, PC, wolf, PC, wolf, and that's it. Right? I did 4 PCs there?
Yes.
Okay, math. I'm an English major. So, the first wolf. I'm gonna turn the music down slightly for me, because that's getting a little overpowering. Okay, first wolf looks at you, Edmund. And it decides it wants to fuck you up.
You.
So,
Boy.
well, I'm gonna do this. I should have probably put these into a character sheet, but I didn't want to. 1d8, 10, 1d8. Okay, so that's a total of 16 when I add the +3.
hit?
To hit. Does that beat your defense?
That's
Okay. Oof. Grey Howler, you're mean. Okay, you take 17 physical damage as the wolf bites you.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's Grey Howler's. Sorry, this Barguest is a nasty little bastard.
Ah!
Alright, one of the player characters can go first. They can make it the person who rolled the highest initiative, or you guys can just, chaos, choose your own way. The rules allow either one.
I'm good with going from highest to lowest.
Alright, then that would mean that Mont Blanc, oddly enough, is the one who gets to go first.
Oh no. I think if I was reading it right, I can do a dodge action to wait to potentially dodge an incoming attack later on.
Yes.
I think that would be what he would do.
Alright. Next it's a wolf's turn. And this wolf is gonna. They're not actually. Don't actually have to move around the combat thing. It's not D&D, but it is fun visually. This wolf's gonna sneak around this rock and try to bite you, Mont Blanc. Oof, that roll sucked. Does 10 hit you with your dodge?
So the dodge is I rolled a dodge 10, and then my defenses are 8.
Yeah, that doesn't hit. That wolf whiffs, and it looks really disappointed in itself. All right, who's next?
It'd be Charles.
I think I'm going to use the guard action. I think that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I have my bodyguard skill, which I can't post it. If I perform the guard action and choose to provide cover to another creature, that creature gains resistance to all damage types until the start of my next turn. So I'm going to give that to probably the smallest looking one, Quiet Eyes.
Bright
Or
eyes.
not Quiet Eyes. Bright Eyes.
Wrong game.
We are all quiet eyes.
What does that do again?
You
Raises
have
your defense.
resistance-
My defense.
Yeah, and you have resistance to all damage types.
Oh, nice.
Can
All right.
shuffle forward and put the shield between the Bargus and the small person. You're all small to me. Except maybe Edmund.
All right. One of the Bargus, feeling like this is pretty well in hand, they got you surrounded. It just kind of lays down, lolls its tongue out, flops its ears, scratches its neck, and waits for the feast. Next player.
All right.
So it's my turn now?
That would be me.
I believe so. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think
Yes.
your initiative was 4 and mine was 5, right? I think
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you had went.
So I'm going to use one of my abilities, encourage. I'm going to encourage Edmund, and that gives you some hit points back. 5, 6. Where's my SL again on this sheet? Can't see it.
What are we looking for?
SL.
Your skill level?
Yeah,
That's
the
just
skill
how many levels you have in the given skill.
It should be
Um,
then 6 hit points back, and you get to choose Dexterity, Insight, Might, or Willpower, and you treat that chosen attribute as being 1 dice higher until my next turn. So I
One
just-
dice higher, as in like if I choose
So,
might, I
if-
would roll
yeah.
a d12 instead.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
6 hit points back, which, not bad. They just kind of, like, pat you on the shoulder and go, "Don't let him do that to you!"
All right. One of the Barguests moves to corner Bright Eyes. The party is now completely surrounded by the wolves.
And part of guard, when I cover another creature, I prevent foes from performing melee attacks against them.
Fuck yeah! Well, there we go. All right. Edmund.
Alright, Edmund's gonna strike back at the wolf that attacked him with his sword. Let's see.
Shit!
Damn.
Yeah, that fucking hits.
Christ.
So your damage. Yeah, shit. Alright. So 15 damage. You slash the Barghest, giving it a real nasty like slash. These things have been feeding off peasants and travelers. It has been a while since they fought someone who has a fucking sword. And this wolf, like it's got this deep fucking gash on its neck and around its shoulder. It looks like it just got slapped in the face and also cut by a sword. Like it's stunned at how violent you just were. And now there's one more Barghest turn. The Barghest next to it looks at it and is like, Are you fucking okay, dude? It gets concerned and it backs up a space. Top of the round order, so we're on round 2. The Barghest you just slashed moves into position. It is pissed at you You specifically, Edmund? It bit you once, now it's gonna bite the fuck out of you again. Okay. So, does 14 hit you? Damn, they're
14
rolling
does, yes.
Okay. Well, you take 18 physical damage there.
18, jeez. I'm gonna now use my, do the math really quick. I'm gonna do the... Oh, I'm in Crisis. Wait, I don't think I'm in Crisis. Never mind. I'm not in Crisis. But I can use my skill Painful Lesson.
Ooh.
So I can use the study action.
Ooh.
And do I have a quick thing for how to do the study action? Is it on the cheat sheet?
Fuck. So basically, study lets you know things about the creature in question. I'm gonna set the DC of studying these wolves as a 10. So if you beat a 10, I'm gonna give you some information here.
What do I need to roll for study?
I believe normally it's just a straight insight check.
Just one?
No, you roll 2. You always roll 2 dice. If
Okay.
it's a straight check, you just roll the same dice twice.
Okay. Insight twice. Gotta find that dumb modifier box. Submit. Nope. Not enough to learn anything.
Yeah. I'm still gonna let you have one bit of social thing, even though I'm not gonna let you know the stats. These are highly social animals. And judging by the reactions they've had in this encounter, how you deal with the leader might inform the behavior of the rest of the pack. And it seems the leader is the one that you just cut really bad.
Ugh. That one! Get that one!
All right. That was your turn, correct?
That was that wasn't my turn, that was the painful lesson I get to use.
You just get to do that as a reaction? Fuck, that's awesome. Okay. So I believe it's Mont Blanc's turn then, if we're going to turn order.
Okay. I am reading something briefly.
I don't know why the music isn't playing for me.
So, seeing with the wonderful advice that was given, Mont Blanc is going to be like, yes, take that one out and we should be good. But I want more information, so I would like to do a study as well.
Okay. Straight insight check.
So just 2 insights?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm going to give you a +2 because you are a studier of monsters and you have taken notes on the wolf population of the area.
So with the modifier, that's 14.
Fuck, I didn't need to give you that +2. Okay. So, the stats of the Grey Howler, the Barghest, has 50 HP. 25 is when it reaches Crisis. It is a fairly standard magical creature, in that there's not a lot of strange surprises. It's one of those arcane creatures that is just more durable than a normal animal. Because of their thick fur, they can be resistant to magic that uses wind or cold, because they're just naturally insulated. They're designed to live to thrive in frostiness. Otherwise, they got a vicious bite that does its high roll +10 physical damage. So their bite is nasty. They are loyal, perceptive, smart, and vigilant.
Okay. That's a lot of information.
Yeah, there you go.
And Mont Blanc will be going like, watch out for the bites. They're resistant to wind and cold damage from magical based attacks. They got a decently chunky hut pool, but if you can get the leader into crisis, we should be able to get past it just fine. And I believe that's my turn.
Yep. Okay. The wolf that was licking itself, sees that boss got stabbed, and immediately books it the fuck out of here. Next.
Charles, I think.
Yep.
I think Ciro be right back.
We don't have to stick to turn order like
I'm back.
Okay, then yeah.
No, sorry, I wasn't sure if I had unmuted myself or not, but I had it. So I'm going to. How bad is the one that we were told to target looking?
You did 15. You did 15 damage to it. 10 more, and it's in crisis. Or Edmund did 50 damage.
45
to it.
HP currently.
You know what? I'm going to. Yeah. Bonk.
Fuck yeah, bonk.
Nope, no bonk.
Oh yeah. Sadly, that's no bonk. But you tried, and that's what matters. All right. This wolf's gonna attack Bright Eyes. Da 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 da.
Right as my guard wore off.
Okay, Bright Eyes. Does 16 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna take 18 damage as that wolf bites you real bad.
Okay.
Jeez. Wolves hurt.
Yeah, Barghests aren't a joke.
How much was that again?
That was 18 damage. They're rolling really well, that's the problem. You rolled an 8 on a D10. You could have rolled a 2.
I'm at 27 hit points, and if I hit 22, I'm in crisis.
It's alright, it's alright. It's not bad. Even if you get to 0, it's not that bad. You're
Yeah,
fine.
we can't die.
It's not D&D. You're fine.
It's
Funny,
exciting.
maybe the wolves are TT skeletons.
Yep.
I'm not worried
Okay.
about it. This is exciting. This feels like playing a Final Fantasy game. You're like, fuck!
Yeah. Okay, Bright Eyes, I think it's your turn, too.
Alright, ignoring the one that bit me because getting the leader to leave seems like a good idea. I'm gonna shoot it in the face. And no, I'm not. It's a 9.
Well, no. Their defense... Yeah, no, you're fine. You made it.
Okay, well then he takes,
Their defense is a 9.
so...
So you literally just barely made it, but you made it. So it takes 18 damage. The leader does not like being shot with a bow, does not like being hit with a sword. He books it, which makes this guy book it, and this guy book it. And you've got one Barghest who's now without his pack, looking at Edmund, whose turn it is.
You dumb bitch.
Alright, Edmund's gonna attack that wolf. Stupid wolves. Find where my weapon is.
Cat. Don't. Jesus Christ, Edmund.
That was with my D10 back to D10.
Fuck yeah, okay, you hit it, and when the next round starts, it leaves. It does not like this. The boss didn't like this, so it is gone. It is out of here. Which, you know what that means.
Yay!
You won your first combat! Yay!
You got experience.
You did! You did. Okay. Well, isn't that just swell? And hey,
That was fun.
Oh wait, I didn't want to reset it that way.
Did gain experience, actually. Wait, actually, how it works, I don't think we gained experience.
You did. Don't worry. You will gain experience at the end of the night. Trust me.
Yeah.
All right. And now I'm gonna reveal the entire map to you. Is there just there's like it asked me to turn on fog of war. Can I just turn it off?
Yeah, I think you should be able to.
I'll figure it out later. Okay. So, anyways, I've revealed most of the map to you except for the corners. That's fine. So go ahead and explore the area now. Turns out that rock that made it look like a fork in the road was actually just a rock. It's a tall rock. That's kind of annoying.
Okay, so
Go
I was
down.
a little off. I was attacked by wolves. It's fine. It's fine.
Before we go to the entrance, Mont Blanc will take the time to draw the Barghest in his book.
All right. Bargus. Description. Arcane wolves, the standard variety. Lovely creatures. Enjoy snacking on bones, good guardians of the hut. Just sweet as can be when you get on their good side. They do tend to view most travelers as prey, but to be fair, most travelers do act skittish and easily digested.
Okay. There's just a look from him. It's like, huh. They like bones.
I'm starting to notice a bias in the entries.
Is the laughing still being typed out on Edmund's page?
She's run out of space, and it's just sort of like looping in the margins until it's all full. The print's getting smaller and smaller.
I thought I did a
I
rather good
assume
job.
we don't end up healed up post battle, right?
You gotta take. If you wanted to, you could camp outside the castle and restore some hit points. But also, when you get inside the castle, it's gonna be a new scene. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it right now. Okay.
I can heal.
Okay.
Like I that is specifically a thing I do.
That's true.
I can do the encourage trick, but I don't know if I can do that to myself. So.
I'm just gonna be a nice GM and tell you that don't worry about healing up right now. You will have a chance to rest pretty soon. In the official way, and the way that doesn't expend points.
Okay.
Good job, guys. You all did very well in that fight. Very diverse tactics. And you now find yourselves at the gates of the castle of the Heartless Witch. As you stand at the large stone gates, it suddenly strikes you, you don't know how to open castle gates from the outside. In fact, one might say it's very hard to open castle gates from the outside. Almost as if castles are designed to keep you out. You have a moment to puzzle this conundrum.
Should we knock?
Only I was cursed to be some sort of bird or bat monster instead.
I've never met a witch. Is it okay for me to just knock on the door?
I mean, it's polite for everybody else.
The worst she can do is tell me to go
Back
away.
the door with my walking stick a couple times.
That is a very big.
There's a pause, and then you all hear as if someone was next to you, although no one is. Oh, visitors. It's been a while. You don't seem like the usual sort. What's your business here?
Does the voice sound familiar at all?
No, it does not sound like the lady who cursed you.
Okay.
Should I answer? Should you answer? Who answers?
You can all answer. I can hear you perfectly well. I understand that I am not present with you, but in many ways it is like you are here in the room at the moment. That's how magic works. I understand it's hard to grasp sometimes.
We just kind of wanted to ask if you knew what was going on in the village.
Okay,
Famine curse.
come on
What
in.
you know about curses?
And the castle gates, the portcullis slowly opens. Mind your manners. And we're gonna go to a new map and a new background track.
Hmm.
I hope she's nice.
All right, you're at the bottom of the map.
Seems tight.
Okay, and I gotta look up my
Oh boy.
track list here. Okay, this is a good one. I mean, they're all good ones, but still. You enter a castle entrance hallway in a state of utter disrepair. It is filled with donkeys and pigs that have just been left to wander and do as they please. There are lots of pig and donkey droppings. The pigs and donkeys don't look in a bad way, but I don't know which Guildford I just grabbed. Okay. But they're just free range livestock in a castle where they probably shouldn't be. The piano is long since busted. Everything's in disarray. The tapestries are tattered. There's dust everywhere. And emerging from the balcony of the second floor of the castle is an enormous woman, as is unexpected in a campaign run by TT.
Shocker.
Shocker.
A 9-foot tall witch. Her body clearly deformed in some respects by magic. Her limbs unnaturally long with sharpened claws. But the most striking thing about her physical appearance is the hollowness of her gaze. There is just a sort of emotionally dull and numb expression permanently etched upon her features. She wears a somewhat tattered dress with pieces of ornamental armor, these sort of skeletal mechanical wings on the back that were probably for some sort of elaborate collar at one point, but now are just held together by withering threads of fabric. Across the chest of her dress, there is a heart-shaped emblem with a rope that has been buttoned across it to slash through. And likewise on the big pieces of armor on her waist, they are heart-shaped with a slash through it, as if to signify that she is, in fact, the Heartless Witch of which you've heard. She eventually moves down the stairs and goes to her throne and sits. So, what is the village doing this time?
Starving
Alright.
to death?
Irving.
Oh, where are my manners? I have not asked your names.
Bright Eyes?
I am Montblanc,
Charles.
and this is Barnaby.
A barnacle goose. That's interesting. Charles, you are a
Edmund.
minotaur?
Yes, far from home.
I would
Edmund
imagine.
Guildford.
Oh. Seems someone got to you already.
I figured it wasn't you once I heard
Bright
your
Eyes,
voice.
that's a very apt name.
Is it? Thank you. What? Can I ask your name?
I'm the Heartless Witch.
She was about to say something, and she's like, "No, I go by a moniker too, so I'm gonna shut my mouth."
So the village is starving?
Any food they grow seems to rot as soon as it is planted.
Same with food that's brought in that's been hunted or gathered.
That seems
They
quite
think
dreadful.
you're the one who cursed them.
Oh, they would, wouldn't they? They seem to blame me for every single thing that goes wrong. It's like they don't realize the king died 7 years ago.
I think that's why all of this, and she's gesturing to all the pigs and the donkeys. I think that's why this happened.
No, that was me.
No, I mean that's why they came here.
They've been starving for 30 years?
No, they just. I don't think they had critical thinking skills.
That is
They're
true. They
looking
don't
for
have
someone
those.
to blame for their misfortunes, and you are convenient.
Easy targets are always.
Speaking of the livestock, feel free to take them if you wish. If you need rations or beasts of burden, they just sort of foul up the place, to be honest. I apologize about the state of my
Aren't
castle.
they people?
I like to think that I've made them what they've always been deep down, swine and jackasses.
Ferris is getting some deja vu.
They came here with their imperious attitudes, telling me how I have befouled their village with my mere presence, and trying to drive me out with force as if I am not a witch. I showed them what happens when you try to drive out a witch with pitchforks and swords.
Like my new friend said, they seem to lack critical thinking.
Yes, you'd think after the first few they would have stopped.
At least they finally got the message.
It did dwindle over the years. I've had less to deal with.
I still don't understand why they would blame you for things when you've been here for 30 years doing, only defending yourself.
I suppose it's easier to blame someone that you think you have the power to stop. It's very hard to fix the crown and replace the king. Killing a witch is no problem. Making a witch suffer is no problem either. At least it wasn't.
Sorry.
No, I trailed off on purpose.
And neurologist Charles looks at the. She said something about effort, or just like looks at the livestock and like, no trouble, huh?
I mean, they poop a lot. I've just sort of given up on cleaning. I gave up on cleaning 20 years ago.
Wait, they didn't say anything in the village about them sending this stuff to you for years.
No,
They sound like. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
I might have misunderstood. I thought they made it sound like. This is Charles. It made it sound like this was a recent event.
There were a few more recent attempts on my life, but this has been going on for a while, ever since I moved in, really. I didn't turn the first ones of torches and pitchforks into livestock. It was only after they started assailing the walls of my castle for days on end that I decided to take more drastic steps.
I'm sorry
It
you
was-
had to go through that.
A very rough few weeks. Then I found my little fix and everything is bearable.
Their Bright Eye's face, it twitches, and it's very clear that they want to ask something, but don't think it's polite.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but I believe your journey here was wasted. I did not cause this famine. It's not the sort of thing I do. These days, I just wake up, eat enough to subsist upon, stare out the window, bathe, and sleep. And then the next day, I do the same. And the next day, and the next day, until death finally claims me. It is, of course, within my power to fix your village, but the fact of the matter is, I can't bring myself to care. Should have looped that. Come on, Wayne. There we go. Background music.
But come on, if you have all of these people they've been sending to you in these cursed forms, which, know firsthand that being cursed isn't exactly very fun, and then you have the ability to fix their problem they currently have, why not fix it and get on good terms with everybody?
That would require me to care, and as I told you, I can't bring myself to care anymore.
Is there a reason for that?
I cut my heart out.
Oh, the heartless switch, that makes sense now.
Wait, that's literal?
Yes. Not in a mundane way, magic was involved. Curses are, in fact, very bearable if you do them for the right reason. I removed my heart and locked it in a box, and made sure it was sent far away where even I couldn't find it. And now I don't have to worry about feeling ever again. It made it so much easier when they were all screaming from my head to just not care. And when they sent these swine and jackasses for me, it made it so much easier to just turn them into what they were and not care about the cruelty of that fate. And now, as these people all suffer and die of starvation, it will be very easy for me not to care.
Huh. You threw away your heart because...
No, I did not throw it away. To throw it away could risk it being destroyed, and if it were destroyed, I would die. And I do not wish to die. Or I did not when I initially cut the heart out. I don't suppose I either wish to die or to live anymore. I just exist, and someday I won't. No, I made sure the heart was hidden. I found a friend of mine to hide it someplace safe where I couldn't find it.
Must be someone you trusted greatly.
Oh, very greatly. The Knucker of the Ridgetooth River. If you ever want a treasure hidden safely, ask a dragon.
I'll nod and stuff like, oh, of course.
And I know you don't care, but could you tell us how we might do something for the village, if you won't?
Are you wizards or witches?
I'm a farmer.
Well, then I don't think there's very much you can do against a magical famine. This is part of the great darkness brought to us by the death of the king. If you had the 7 crown jewels, I suppose you could crown one of you as king and try and undo everything, but that won't do much. If you were a gifted spellcaster, there are tomes in my library. I suppose I feel no reason not to let you research, to perform the magic in hand, though I doubt you have the capacity to do it. Unfortunately, I think your only option is to do as I have, which is not an impossible feat. If you'd like, behind me there is my library. The last book I opened was the ritual of removing one's heart. You could remove your own, and then you wouldn't care about this anymore.
Back to that part about the crystals and the crown. That sounds more feasible than what you're saying about ripping your heart out.
Oh, no, not by a long shot. The king's crown was destroyed. The jewels that power the crown lost in the battlefield. Who knows where they all went? Edmund, since you asked, you may make a straight insight check at that statement.
All right. Let me find character sheet quick. How many?
Or doubles.
Like doubles, I guess.
Well, shit, that's a critical success. Okay. Moochie Moochie. I gotta remember what that does. Oh boy, our first crit!
Our first
Um,
critical.
Our first critical,
Page
holy
70.
shit. So, this means your check succeeds, and you get to apply the effects of an opportunity, which are listed in our cheat sheet. There are so many here. You get the sense that when she says, "Who knows where those jewels could be," that it's not a hint of a smile, but there's just a slight flash of knowingness in those otherwise dull and almost lifeless eyes. As if she knows but is not saying where at least one of those jewels is. And you get an opportunity as a result of the success that you can apply to this interaction. I don't think you want to afflict her with something, but like you could create a bond with her right now if you wanted to. You could choose a character in the scene to have them make a compromising statement, like a slip of the tongue, an insult to an ally, or etc. You can make an ally of a character who was not previously one on the scene. I'm going to shoot that one down though because you don't know her that well yet. Information, you could spot a useful clue or detail. Lost item. An item is sort of left behind. Nah, probably not. We don't have a clock going, so don't worry about the progress. Not gonna do plot twist. Scan, you discover one vulnerability or trait of a creature you can see. You could do that. Unmask, you can learn the goals and motivations of a creature or character of your choice. And you can also suggest an opportunity, and we can do that. That's one of the things about the system. But those are our basic ones. They're listed on our cheat sheet for you to look at.
Yeah. Oh boy. How to pick one. I'm going to choose unmask regarding why she really came here in the first place.
Okay. So this woman speaks in a dull, lifeless monotone. Her face is almost expressionless when she talks. But no one can, no matter how heartless, no matter how cut off from their feelings they are, can be completely without emotion. And even though she is numb and deadened to her feelings to an absurd magical degree, you see genuine, like flickers of genuine grief when she talks about her relationships with the village in the past, and the reason and what led to her cutting out her heart. And whenever she says, "I feel fine about this horrible thing happening because I have no heart," you realize that's a bit of a lie. And whenever she's talking about the state of her existence and how there is no feeling and she is content to just go about existing until she dies, there's just a little bit of a cry for help buried under there, one that she doesn't notice herself. This was a person who was at one point very vibrant, very emotional, and probably very loving, who, for survival, cut the love out of herself.
and now desperately craves it, even as she keeps telling herself, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. She's a person who cut her heart out, and there's a gaping hole where that heart was.
So the curse of the famine the village is suffering, what's behind it ultimately is the king's death. There's no
Yes.
big bad witch out there that cast a spell on it, like, you didn't do that.
No, I feel no reason to. I could remove it if I wanted to, but I feel no desire to. So I won't.
What
And
do
all
you
of that
desire?
was 100% true. Oh, nothing. To desire, you have to feel something. I don't feel anything anymore. So I don't want anything anymore. All I do is exist. At times my body craves things, and I do what is needed to fill that craving and make it end. But beyond that, I am bereft of feeling.
If these-
Terribly sad.
No, to be sad, one has to feel. I don't feel sadness. I don't feel happiness. I don't feel anger. I feel nothing. My heart feels those things, and it's far, far away where it can't hurt me anymore.
I came here thinking you cursed me, but it sounds like you've already thoroughly cursed yourself.
Yes, that is literally what I did, yes.
But that crown you're talking about, if it undoes the magic, it'll undo things like the famine.
Undo is a strong term. A crown, when worn by a king, allows the king to tie themselves to the kingdom that the crown belongs to. And as such, the kingdom prospers when the king prospers, and it suffers when the king suffers. Right now, without a king bringing order to the magic of this land, it is allowed to run rampant, unfocused, undirected. And as a result of that, and the chaos left by the absence of the king, the kingdom of Engelsex grows more wild, more disturbed, more chaotic, and more violent. It will feed into itself as a cycle. Disasters will grow more numerous and more severe. Death will be more and more common. Things that feed upon death will become more and more common to make death more common. And in time, if the cycle is not halted in some way, redirected, given focus, the kingdom of Engelsex will become a barren wasteland devoid of life. Then I think I will finally die, and this existence will be over.
With that power of that crown, the king, could that undo the curse on me?
Yes. Though the magic that's been worked on you is of a very strong sort. It is possible that with the crown of the king, with the sheer power of the magic of this entire kingdom, you could easily dispel it.
You don't happen to know who cursed me, do you?
I have a suspicion, but to tell you would be to care about your condition, and I am afraid I am incapable of caring.
Well, fair enough, I guess.
Yes. Well, you are more amiable than any other visitor I've had since moving here. Your company is not unpleasant, as far as I can tell. So if you like, you may stay the night, rest, and then be on your way. It is a long journey, and I have heard that wolves are more numerous in the countryside. Feel free to help yourself to my larder or to get rid of one of these pigs if you are hungry. Otherwise, if you excuse me, I will retire to my chamber to sit until rest takes me.
May I make a small request before you go to your chamber?
I suppose.
I have been given a task to document magical beings across the land. May I sketch you?
It hinders me not. You may.
Cool. Mont Blanc's just gonna go sketch the Heartless Witch.
Underneath the sketch, you get the Heartless Witch description. Oh, honey. No. No, you didn't. Oh, dear. Oh. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, she's in a bad way.
Mont Blanc is going to write back to the message. Note to self: meet the Knucker, get the heart back.
Oh, she still knows the Knucker. That's nice.
There's just the most quizzical look on Mont Blanc's face.
Don't mind me. Carry on, winky face.
Wait, what did it say?
Don't mind me. Carry on, and then there's like a little winky face.
Huh. Neat. I do appreciate the kindness.
Oh, that was kind? I suppose it must have been. I have not experienced much kindness in the past 30 years, and I certainly have not had opportunity to show it myself, but... You're welcome? Is that how these interactions go?
Generally, from what I have seen, yes.
You are unusual guests. I think I will not turn you into swine or donkeys.
Appreciated.
Very much so.
Although many that I have passed seem to assume that I have already been victim to a curse.
Ah, yes.
Surprised.
There are not many minotaurs in the kingdom of Anglesex. I think the only place where they are common is the town of Aesopton. Or Aesopton? I've never been great at pronouncing Mediterranean words.
Perks up and goes, I was just about to ask, do you know which direction it lies? I have been misplaced. That is actually my home.
Oh. I have not left my house in 30 years. So, at some point I might have. I could rack my memory to try and remember, but that would require me to care. And I do not. Well, this is awkward. I'm going to leave.
Okay. Have a good rest.
I will have a rest. Like other rests I've had before. And then it will be done. And I will sleep. And then another day will begin. And end. And another. And another. And another. And she leaves. Everyone get a fabula point. You met your first villain. Mechanically speaking.
Okay.
Your first villain. Everyone gets a fabula point because this is your first villain NPC. Mechanically speaking, she's probably not quite a villain in the story sense, but in the mechanics of Fabula Ultima, she is a villain character.
Okay.
He's an antagonist.
Yes.
So, Bright Eyes is going to turn towards Mont Blanc because he's the closest one, and you see that the moniker that they've given themselves is very apt right now because she is crying, and she just looks at him and goes, "We have to help her."
Mont Blanc gives a small smile and gives a little hug. It's like, I was already planning on it. It's already written down in the book. Pat.
She's just gonna. Her hand grips and gripping over her heart. She's just like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Curses. So rough.
But to live with no feeling, with no joy, no pain, no sorrow, it is almost better to be dead.
And she did it to herself.
So we're going to go find the Knucker, we're going to go get her box, bring it back to her, and then give it back to her and see if she'll take her heart back.
Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. Didn't you see her already? She didn't care about anything. What makes you think if you got the heart back from the Knucker that she'd suddenly care enough to even put it back?
Well, I would like to be nice about it, but she did bring the very brute force literal fact that whoever holds her heart holds her life in their hands, which is why it's with the Knucker.
So your plan is to get the heart and then tell her you'll kill her unless she puts her heart back in?
No, that would be mean.
I wouldn't be able to do
That's
that.
what you said.
I was implying we should return her heart and try to persuade her to take it back.
Persuade her? Threaten to kill her by the fact that you have her heart? Sounds the same thing to me.
It's about tone.
Yeah. Well, she seems to know something about the curse inflicted on me. And it seems like she doesn't care enough to say anything at this moment, so... Alright, I'm all in on this plan.
And so far, she's the only one who even knew of my town without me bringing it up first.
Charles, since you know of the witch Circe and have some context for what kind of person you're dealing with here, I would like you to make an insight wisdom check.
Let's see. Is that 2 wisdoms? Or willpowers?
Yeah, insight with willpower, that's what I meant. Sorry, D&D still infects my brain.
Come on.
What did you roll together?
88.
Oh my gosh, a 2 and a 3, Jesus. Alright, you don't get
Insight
shit.
and willpower. Yeah.
I'll let you all do it. I'll let you all do an insight willpower. I'll be nice.
Okay.
I know this is technically violating the rule of when you fail, but it's our first session, it's tutorial session, and I want things to proceed.
Right, and willpower?
Yep.
Oh, I got that.
Damn, Mont Blanc.
Fuck.
Mont Blanc is on the case for this.
Alright, Bright Eyes and Mont Blanc. A witch just told you where her fucking grimoire is that did the ritual that cut her heart out, amongst other things. And gave you carte blanche to fucking look at it. That is an opportunity.
Yeah. She's gonna realize that and start marching forward. Like,
East.
none of you... I'm just gonna stop pretending. None of you know that she's a lady. You think that she's a boy, but I can't keep that straight in my head, so...
East.
That's fine. Alright, so...
Where are you all going?
We're going to go look at
Like, Charles just points after them. I don't know.
She said we could look at the book.
Okay. When you look at the book, you do see the Heartless Ritual, which is a curse. To do this to someone or to yourself is a curse. You are breaking yourself with magic, and doing so in a conditional fashion. The thing about curses by their nature can be reversed. They can be undone by meeting specific criteria. And written here is the steps to do a ritual once one has the heart of the person who took their heart out that can restore it to that person. Notably, the person does not have to be present for the ritual to work. You just have to have the heart. The ritual is not super complicated magic, in part because the natural state of a being is to have its heart in its body, both the physical, muscle, and the spiritual associations with it. The heart belongs there. It's harder to take the heart out than it is to put the heart back in. So if you get the heart...
Oh, sorry.
So if you get the heart and you can touch it and pull, grab the thing and enchant it, you should be able to get it back in that witch easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Opening the tome, Montblanc's gonna write, is it okay if I write a recipe for relevant cause here? On her page.
Yeah, I don't mind. You got lots of pages.
Just jots down the ritual real quick.
Oh,
Charles.
she did the basic bitch version? Oh, jeez, honey.
Charles looking over every ritual, not reading Montblanc's book, but looking at the tome is just like, yeah, I think I can do this.
Bright Eyes is gonna tap Montblanc's shoulder and go, whoever that is in your book, can you say thank you?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Then there's just a Bright Eyes says thank you. I do too. Thank you.
What a polite pair you are. Say you're welcome and tell Bright Eyes she has a very nice dragon.
She sees those words.
Bug's going to look at the page and look not at Bright Eyes but the dragon and be like, oh.
Well, it's a cat. It's a cat.
Oh yeah, no, it's a cat. But he trusts the book over the cat.
And the cat has a puckish little grin on its face, as the pupils, you now realize, are a little more vipery than cat pupils tend to be.
The book says, thank you for being very polite. Or, you're welcome for being very polite. My apologies. And that you have, leans in, and that you have a very nice dragon.
She's gonna lean back and she's gonna look at you like you've never actually seen anger cross her face, and it's still not anger. And it's just like,
And he's like, I don't know, it's the book.
don't tell anybody else, please.
Can I sketch him later?
You have to ask him.
Okay.
Them. I'm not sure.
Them. I will ask them. Yes, Barnaby. You are very important, and we appreciate your insight on the witch's dilemma. If anybody could warm her despite her heartless state, it would be you, Barnaby.
All right. So you have been offered respite in the villain's castle, which I think is a very fun thing given the mechanics of this game. So you can now officially rest, and there are bedrooms. They're not super well taken care of, but the plus side, the animals seem to prefer the Great Hall and the courtyard. They don't seem to like going into the smaller rooms that much, so it's got a lot less pig and donkey shit in it. Plus side, when you rest, You recover all your hit points and mind points. You recover from all status effects. And when you are you are in what's called a resting scene. During this type of scene, you can spend some time role-playing conversations, describing what you do while sitting near a campfire or relaxing in a bedroom, what have you. And at the end of a scene, you can do one of the following. Just one. Create a new bond towards someone or something. Add a new emotion to an existing bond. Or erase an emotion from an existing bond and replace it with a new one. When you add new bonds or change their emotions, describe how or why your character's view on others have shifted. So, this would be a time to, first of all of your HP is recovered, all of your mind points are recovered. Second, you can make a new bond or add an emotion to an existing bond if you'd like. And this would be a good time for you to make a bond with some of your fellow PCs.
It supports in Fire Emblem.
Yes, it is.
Charles.
So we all find a suitably sized guest bedroom or whatever to sort of hang out away from all the pigs and donkeys.
Tell me, Charles, from where you're from, are there humans around where you're from?
Oh yes, humans, gorgons, harpies. Tell me if I'm like mistaken.
Oh, dude, you've got centaurs, serpentars, a couple of arachnes. Probably have some of the lesser knockoff Cerberi and Orthrasi.
Blacksmith is a cyclops.
Yeah. Well, a half cyclops. A full-on cyclops would be big. The biggest creature in your town would be
Sphinx.
the Sphinx. We got a history with the Sphinx.
Yeah, Charles goes, oh, humans are kind of almost a minority in town. Good number of them, but there's minotaurs like me. There's gorgons, harpies, centaurs, serpentars, and he just goes through the list.
Do you mention this? Do you mention the Sphinx?
And he goes, there is also the Sphinx, the one who is sort of responsible for my trip.
The Sphinx sent you here?
Suppose she's the one. Well, she's the one who sent me in the direction of a trip, and he kind of pulls the cask forward, and he goes, "I was sent to." Well, she told me about a trip that could be made that would benefit the village, my farm. Help feed everyone, and he cracks open the lid, and it's just inside, just packed to the brim, just full of rich, dark soil.
Ooh, this is good soil.
So you're here to support your village.
That was my intent. But then when she told me about this grove where I could travel and find the soil, and I would bring it home and spread it among my farm and enrich the ground, which isn't unheard of. Fertilizing and tilling the ground to enrich the soils. It's fairly common in farming. But when I turned around after gathering it all, the path was gone. Found another path, and that's what led me here. And let me tell you, if I'm as far away as I seem to be, I did not walk nearly as long as I should have been to be as far as I am.
But you did that for your village. What made that your responsibility?
I was not really thinking of responsibility. It's just something I could do to help my farm grow better. And Sphinx never really... She defended the village ever since it was created. back when it was originally a military camp before it, eventually grew into what it is now.
So you're not like noble or knight or mayor, or you're just a peasant from
No.
your village?
I suppose kind of scratches behind a horn and goes, I suppose that's a term you could use. I'm just a farmer. I grow pomegranate trees.
What's a pomegranate?
And he kind of perks up and he goes, I don't have any fresh, but he pulls out a small jar of preserves, like jam.
Fuck, pomegranate jam's so good.
I know. So that's like one of the reasons why I love it so much is that's part of my childhood. My great grandma had trees in her backyard, and she would always, every year, make homemade pomegranate stuff, and it was always so delicious.
Oh my god, that sounds fantastic.
Pomegranates are so fucking tasty. There's so much work to eat, but they're so fucking tasty. Oh god. Sorry.
Charles will, it's like, he'll like, if there's like bread or tack or something, and if we have rations, it's just like shares some of it with the group. He doesn't have a lot, but he wasn't expecting to really. This is probably some of his last because he's been traveling for. He'll actually say this. He goes, this is some of my last that I have. I've been traveling for kind of, thanks the moment, a few months.
Well, I think I got enough to throw in a bond for Charles, or at least on my end.
Yeah.
I'll go with, at this time, it's going to be inferiority.
Yeah, I can see that.
Wait, who's aimed at
So-
who?
Edmund feels inferior to you. That you, despite being a peasant, not even a knight, you show this nobility that Edmund has always chafed at trying to live up to. Am I articulating that correctly?
Exactly.
So inferiority is technically a negative bond, but it's a bond that it's like a complimentary negative bond in a way where it's like, fuck, you're so
Yeah.
fucking cool. It's the way Darkwing Duck feels about Gizmo Duck. It's like, what if he's always doing the right thing? God, fuck that guy.
One thing about Charles is he is wearing what looks to be, relatively old armor. It's like straight up Roman legionnaire armor.
Yeah,
with a
given that
big
it's
shield.
it's from a previous Mediterranean invasion, and I think the one before the Age of Fairy Tales is pretty far back. That armor is old as shit. It's good. It's solid construction. You've kept it and you've kept it well, but it's fucking old and it looks it.
I think it was like, not Hephaestus himself, but people who trained under him, maybe whoever
Yeah.
whoever was.
I
whoever was
imagine
arming
I
the Mediterranean
imagine
armies.
Mediterranean is far more religious. Mediterra is far more religious than the other countries in Midgeheiim, and a lot of their industry is like, run by people who are devout worshippers of the god. The forges are all run by people who are devout worshippers of Hephaestus. If you're going to be a
Yes,
blacksmith, you are going to at least be taught by a priest of Hephaestus.
Yeah. So yeah, this was definitely from one of their forges then.
Yeah. And if you're forging armor and weapons, you are also likely, overseen by at the very least by a priest of Ares, which also helps make them particularly good and long lasting. There are like minor enchantments on all of Mediterranean gear. It's why the Mediterraneans have launched so many wars of conquest, because they do tend to be pretty much on the cusp of everything, technology speaking and magic wise. It's just that trying to conquer the whole world when there is literally a force of reality that values underdogs makes it really hard. Magic, by its nature, sees the person who by all rights should win and says, yeah, but what if this scrappy go-getter did instead? If my audio is weird, it's because the table holding my microphone just fell apart a little bit. I need a new dinner tray.
Oh no.
It's old. All right. Anyone else want to do some role playing?
All I can think of is Mont Blanc now is adding into the notes of the Minotaur page for Charles, like, makes the best pomegranate jam? Pomegranate? Hammergranate?
Yeah, green.
I'm enough of a cheap bastard to say that's a good enough reason to put admiration as a bond for Charles.
Well, I was originally going to put affection for Bright Eyes based off of the scene we had in the room.
That's also fine.
So I was going to go with that one first.
Yeah. You don't have to justify it with, like, in this moment role playing. You can do it with stuff that's happened earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, do that shit. Anyone else making some bonds?
Mm,
See.
Or strengthening pre-existing ones?
Yeah, I only have one pre-existing one, and they're not exactly around, so.
Yeah. You can still invoke it, though, whenever you remember the Sphinx or your feelings about the Sphinx. Bonds are versatile that way.
I'm gonna. Let me see here. I'm gonna justify admiration for Charles because of what he just told us that he's done with his life.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
You went out to help people for no reward. That's kind of my fucking jam. And let's see a scene. Oh, Mont Blanc.
Yes.
Why exactly are you going around with this book? Just because you can?
As far as anybody can tell, yes. Including Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc has no idea why he's doing this.
Just to go out and see things?
To go out and see things.
I wish that's why
It was-
I left home. I've seen things,
admittedly-
but it's not why I left.
Yes. Admittedly, Mont Blanc is finding out things like the book talks to him. That's a new one.
And Charles left his home because he was looking to help people. This is probably a very stupid question, Edmund, but did you leave because you were looking for a cure? Or did you leave because you had to?
Well, when you suddenly get transformed into a thing, and then your brained retainers see you and assume you're a monster and shoot at you, you're kind of left without a choice.
I'm sorry that happened to you. You might be a bit brash, but I don't think you deserved any of that.
Yeah. That's what I tell myself anyway.
Can see why you were so eager to meet the witch.
You seem...
Yeah. But
She's just gonna say, you don't seem like the sort of person that should be cursed like that. Although, I don't believe anybody that should be cursed.
Oh, thanks. But I suppose life dealt me a bad hand before this anyway.
Oh, they just kind of sighs and goes like, I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah. Bright eyes, huh?
Yeah. It's not my name, but it's good enough.
I figured as much. But I guess having some knowledge from like nobility and stuff, be able to see somewhat from presentation a little bit about Bright Eyes' background.
Yeah, I would say that, and like you don't have to roll anything for it. You can tell that though Bright Eyes is hiding it, and hiding it relatively well, Bright Eyes is not exactly a commoner. Bright Eyes is at least of high enough aristocratic rank where they could marry a person of a baron stature, which a knight could as well. Possibly even higher. Which means that Bright Eyes is, at the very least, a child of a knight like you, if not a member of a higher rank of aristocracy. Like there are just little bits of the eloquence of Bright Eyes and their posture, the way they carry themselves, where you can tell, like, okay, this is a person who knows what I've been through.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Sometimes expectation weighs a lot.
Oh, trust me, I feel that. You could say it's partly responsible for getting me into this mess.
Yes. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you don't mind me asking or trying, you said something about retainers. Were you a knight as well? And sorry if this is sensitive. Did you fight for the last king?
I didn't. I guess I wouldn't call myself a knight, though I suppose by title I am one. And by assumed responsibility. When the king died 7 years ago, my parents were there fighting for him. And they joined in his fate of being left on the battlefield.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that meant I had to start taking on all the roles they left behind and all that. It's a lot to shoulder.
If when Edmund's telling that story and he gets to that part, if he lets me, I'm gonna like reach over and like grab one of his fingers and give him a squeeze, like sympathy. Only if he lets me, though.
He does. Edmund's slightly confused, both the combination of the being a monster for the past 6 months and then also just from like upbringing of being the kind of this young adult, teen to young adult that was forced into a strange role and not really having like a lot of equals to really interact with, that the interaction you do is a little bit like foreign to him, but doesn't necessarily like act negatively to it or anything.
Let me see here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and guess that Bright Eyes might be a little older than you, despite what you look like.
Yeah, I think Edmund, I settled on 23-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna if you seem sort of confused on your role in life and a little adrift, but mostly good natured, if a little brash. She's gonna put down a bond of affection for you, like
Aw.
maybe like a kind of a sistery feeling.
Mm-hmm. Can we gain more than one bond in this little thing?
Normally, no, but
Oh, then I could take that back.
no, I would like our party to start getting closely knit, and I would like to start working on the mechanics of drawing on bonds. So I'll allow you guys to form a bond, like one bond of everyone here, if you feel up to it. And if you can
Because I was just
justify
about
it
to
to me
say.
roleplay wise.
Charles, I was just about to say he might feel an admiration bond. It's like, oh, this guy has been through some trouble, but he's not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
I will be right back, by the way. My cat has decided that she's done waiting for me to feed her, so she's just bitten me.
Also, TT,
Yeah.
would I be able to make the other bond I was considering before Edmund's reveal or talk was maybe a bond with the Heartless Witch, but the
You could-
emotion Charles feels doesn't really show up on this, which
Okay.
is pity.
First of all, you can absolutely form bonds with villains. I would say pity falls under the broad umbrella of affection. Where, like, if you pity a person, then that means on some level you like them enough to feel bad about the state they're in.
Yeah, because that's what he was meaning by it. It was just so sad listening to her story.
What was that? I just got back.
Charles, I'm gonna put the Heartless Witch as a affection bond because he just pities her so much.
Ciro, you can form a bond with the villain of this arc.
I'm gonna put affection for Bright Eyes. Edmund can recognize, some, even if we haven't dived deep into it yet, can recognize there's part of some similarities in the background there in the
Yeah,
bonds.
Bright Eyes is a noble of some sort, dressed in a pauper's clothes and pretending to be a pauper. Whatever the motivation there is for that is something that you can relate to, given your backstory.
Yeah.
You can understand why someone in your position would want to not be.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
Mont Blanc, you feeling any bonds?
So I've got the affection for Bright Eyes, admiration for Charles, but for Edmund, despite the story, I actually went with mistrust.
Okay.
His behavior in character and in game, which Mont Blanc has been watching, is still very wild and aggressive, and he feels it's going to get us into more trouble than it's almost worth.
He's
But
one of those
only
dangerous beasts you've heard about.
I'm gonna go with mistrust too, also for Mont Blanc. Mont Blanc is carrying around a book that sketched him and then it just laughed at him. Mistrust.
That's I think that's fair.
All right. We all good forming bonds?
I think so.
Okay. You rest the night. When you wake up, no one makes breakfast for you. The witch does not come down to greet you. There are lots of pigs and donkeys here. You could search out the witch if you wanted to, or you could just fucking leave.
I don't
Get going.
know if we want to push her hospitality anymore.
I think it would be polite for us just to let her know that we are leaving.
All right.
Well, I mean, I don't think she'd care.
It's not about if she cares. It's about us being polite. I don't
did
think
tell
she
us to
cared.
mind our manners.
I don't think she particularly cared about the fates of the men she turned into pigs, but she still turned them into pigs.
Yes, I suppose
Right.
that's true.
If you guys seek out the witch, you eventually find her in the master bedchamber of the castle. She is sitting in a chair, and she is looking out the window, completely expressionless, at a admittedly beautiful mountaintop vista of the Ridgetooth River as it winds out. It gets larger and eventually expands into a bay over the horizon. Oh, you're still here.
We were just letting you know that we were on our way out.
All
We
right.
didn't want to just leave rudely.
I
you
believe
for your
that's kind of
hospitality.
you. You're welcome. It costs me nothing.
We still appreciate
It
it.
was interesting having visitors who didn't try to kill me or tell me I wasn't wanted here. I don't have many novel experiences these days.
Thank you for your hospitality.
We truly do appreciate it.
She nods. I believe the custom is to say good be with you as you leave.
With you as well.
Yes.
Customs are important. Good be with you. Thank you for not trying to kill me.
And thank you for not turning us into pigs.
You're welcome. It costs me nothing. Well, that was pleasant.
Yep. It's just kind of like, I'm debating doing something, but I fear it causes chaos, so I am doing nothing.
Sometimes it be like that.
It do be like
Okay. Yeah, fuck it. This will be slightly abbreviated, but that's fine. Let's head on over. So you know where the Knucker is. It's in the Ridgetooth River.
Mm-hmm.
And here you all are in the Ridgetooth River.
Oh.
Place yourself, order yourselves.
These little fucking sprites are adorable.
It's really fun.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They are fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I'll go. I'm gonna just reveal some areas for you. You enter. You know, it's not there.
Is there something there? All I see is white space.
Did I put you in the right one?
Yep, I can see the map.
Yeah, we're on the
Yeah,
river.
Okay, it's just
might
not
have to
loading.
refresh again.
Yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Usually, my default is if Roll20 is giving me trouble, I'm just like, all right, you're getting refreshed.
Yeah. He's a
Yeah.
tricksy beast.
Yeah.
How do websites go on the refresh jiggler?
Yeah, it's just acting up a little bit.
Feel free to explore a little bit. Unlike most JRPGs, you can swim. Like most JRPGs, there are things in the water.
We already know that there's a water dragon of some sort in here. I would like to talk to it before it bites me.
I should be able to communicate with it, assuming it does not speak human speech.
Most of them understand us. Just if they can
Oh, yes.
reply back or not.
Oh, I can speak the language of the beasts,
Charles,
the plants, and
Charles, you're off the
monsters.
map.
I just suddenly saw Charles fly out to the side. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, red flag. I'm sorry.
All right.
Do you think if I like leaned over the edge of the water and went, "Hello, Mr. Nucker, are you home?" it would work?
Maybe. And
It's worth a shot.
she's gonna look over her shoulder at the cat just hanging out on her backpack.
Edmund is back in the game.
Fair enough. Hello, Mr. Nucker? Or Mrs. Nucker? Miss Nucker? Are you home? The Nucker?
You don't see a knucker, but emerging out of the water is a beautiful white horse with a black mane and tail. It shakes off its head with drops of water, and it looks at you with the most beautiful horse eyes you've ever seen. And you just think to yourself, that is one rideable horse.
Uh-oh.
It's
There's a horse in
it's-
the like. There's a horse in the river.
It just walked out of the river. It just emerged out of the water, walked onto the shore, shook itself dry, and looked at you with those horse eyes that say, "Don't worry about a saddle, just ride me, big boy."
God. That must be
So I-
magical. Sketch that.
Oh, it's a magic water horse.
No, I'm not. I'm a regular horse.
Still a very
Horses
beautiful
don't
horse.
talk. I've made them try several times.
No, I'm a regular horse. Don't worry about it. You know what would be really fun? I bet you could ride me. That's what horses do.
But it's
Give people
already
rides.
it's already too late. He's sketching the magic horse.
Oh, come on! Don't draw me. Just give me a just jump on here. How about you, Bright Eyes? How about you, kid? Come on, baby blues. Get on this
What's
horsey.
your name?
That's the most suspicious thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't want the Minotaur on me though. I don't think I can. No offense, big guy. I don't think I can carry you.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Mont Blanc, as you're drawing the horse, your drawing shifts as you draw it from a horse to something far more crocodilian, almost like a crocodile in a horse's shape. And the text below it says, "Kelpie. Description. That's a fucking Kelpie. That is a Kelpie. That is a crocodile fairy that disguises itself as a horse to trick people into riding on it. Spikes will shoot out of its back. When you sit on it, you will be stuck, and it will drag you underwater and eat you. Mont Blanc, I want this book finished. Stay the fuck off that horse."
What's it say?
Come
God,
on.
It just
It's-
clicked that Mont Blanc was given the Midgeheim version of a Pokedex.
Yes.
It just sank in.
I have the
And he even
sense.
has a partner.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks up. That's a Kelpie.
No, I'm not. I'm a normal horse. A normal, beautiful horse. Come on.
You are very pretty, but the magic
Thank
book
you. I appreciate that.
hasn't led us astray yet.
Oh, you gotta fucking. Oh, God damn it. Fuck. Shit. They always got something. God damn it. And as the horse starts saying that, its jaws open unnaturally wide, and you see sharp teeth, and it starts walking back into the water. And as it does, the fur kind of congeals into a black tar and slaws off to reveal its scaly body as it starts swimming into the water. God, every goddamn time. I'm never gonna eat anything but a fucking fish. God.
She's gonna cup her hands around her mouth and go, "You're still very pretty."
Oh, thank you. You know, I need that for myself. God, what am I doing there? Fuck you! And it swims off.
Being sincere.
Alright, so that was your
No, they
Kelpie
can talk.
encounter.
That was the best Kelpie encounter ever. Including the one where we threw one of their asses at a person.
Oh yeah.
At the fucking Loch Ness monster, essentially, right?
Basically.
All right. So you can continue traveling along the bay. You solved the Kelpie puzzle.
That was a very, very strange.
Yeah.
Depending on how things went out, this might have been next session, and you might have had to fight some Kelpies. But we're doing a slightly abbreviated thing, and you know what? I like that better.
I was just kind of curious about this little nook.
You want to go up the Nook?
Nook.
Well, if it worked last time, I can try it again.
It's really fun zooming out and watching your little tokens zoom on here. It's like I'm actually watching someone play the game. It's really fun.
RPG.
Mont Blanc leads his head over the pool again and goes, "Hello? The Knucker? Mr. Knucker? Mrs. Knucker? The witch didn't give us the gender of the Knucker, did it? Did she?
I don't think she did.
No, she didn't.
Hello, Knucker?"
So in this area, you encounter you see in the water this enormous fish, and by enormous I mean like at least elephant size. This is a sea boar, and I have the line art of it, and I deleted the sketch, so that's fun. I think it'll still show up in Discord well enough. It's fine. Yeah, there you go. Okay. It has... This is the kind of whale quotation marks you would see on a medieval map, where it's got like a pig-like snout and big tusks and those big curly horns that shoot water on the top of its... and frilly gills and a big trout-like tail and sort of clawed fins at the front of it. And it's half submerged in water, half exposed. Its gills are flapping in pain, and there's a harpoon in the side of it. As it... How dare you text me at 10:33? As it lies sort of beached on this little section of the bay here, of the riverbank. Next to the corpses of several other creatures that were washed up here and were less fortunate than the sea boar, or more, depending on the fact that their deaths seem to have been swifter.
I'm gonna go and pull the spear out of it, and then start attempting to push it into the water.
How are you pulling the spear?
And
this is an important question. It's not a trick question, but like, if you think about your approach, this may go better or worse for you.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to like be gentle about it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not physically powerful, so she's going to have to grab it with both hands.
Okay.
And probably plant a foot next to the sea boar and try to yank backwards.
Then I'm going to say might plus willpower. The willpower comes in from you attempting to be as gentle as possible while doing this.
Okay, might and willpower.
Careful, that thing could splat you quick.
It's such a beautiful creature.
13.
You pull the harpoon out, and when you do, the creature, which has just been gasping for breath, curls its neck to look at you, and you can see like a sense of relief and almost gratitude in its fish-like gaze. But it's still stuck, beached in the water. It's going to need a significant might roll. I would suggest at this time that we do this as there's specific terminology for this.
Group thing?
A group check. So we need to identify a leader. They're going to roll the
pretty good might, but
they're going to roll the what's your might?
D10.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Anyone beat that? I don't think you can at this level.
Nope, mine's also D10.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're all
Mine's
good at
just the same
Charles,
thing.
Charles is our leader. Everyone else is doing support checks.
Yeah.
Your support check difficulty is fixed at 10.
Roll effort. Might plus might.
Yep, you're gonna roll might plus might. Straight on might. Everyone else will do the same.
Okay.
Might makes right.
Fuck, yes.
A 1 out of 10. Heaven or hell.
Jesus Christ, Bright Eyes, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay.
Oh, jeez, how did I roll so bad?
So our
11.
difficulty for this check is 12. Right? That's what the next level of difficulty would be? I'm gonna say 12, fuck it. I'm just gonna stand by my words. So difficulty is 12. So you got an 11, Charles, that's just shy. But Bright Eyes did get a success, they beat 10. Mont Blanc and Edmund didn't, but that's okay, you tried. So that's enough. Together, Bright Eyes and Charles managed to push for Seaboard, while Edmund and Mont Blanc go to help, but then it manages to slide through the sand out of the grip. And you watch as the Seaboard gets into deeper waters, and if you've ever seen a video of a beach sea creature that finally gets in water deep enough for it to move, they move fucking fast. This creature takes off into the river, and it gets about 50 feet away before it finally stops, now that it's confident it's in good deep water, and it turns back at you with what can only be described as a smile on its big lumpy face, and sprays out jets of water before diving into the water and swimming away, and you can just see its wake as it goes by.
Oh, I was catching that one too.
Yep.
He's such a lovely lad.
Seaboard. This one, description. This one looks a little young. Possibly split off from its herd. You found it in the Ridgetooth River, which is pretty far from the sea. It might well be lost, but perhaps it will find its way. And,
I can hope.
the only way to proceed down from here would be to swim.
Should we go back around?
Yeah, let's look back around and
Or we could just
Well.
go straight across.
Nice job, you two.
Barnaby, will you be my eyes as I swim?
Barnaby looks at you, looks at the corpses. Wah?
I don't know if I would swim in that. You gotta
And it shrugs its horrifying wings and goes into the water.
Oh joy! Do I have to make a check to swim?
No, you don't.
think. We can swim across the way
What's your defense?
Oh no.
I was gonna say, there's gonna be something in the water.
Defense is 8, and magic defense is 10. Well, plus 1, so it'd be 9 and 11. I need to figure out how to fix that.
Jesus, shit!
Well,
talk about
Well.
crit.
Oh, you're fucked.
you feel crocodilian jaws bite into your leg and start to drag you under. It also, it crit. It really crit.
Yeah,
It's got
Wow.
It gets an opportunity.
that's fine.
Oh, jeez.
Opportunity. Oh boy.
Hope he followed us.
Oh
What were you
boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm gonna give it. I'm just gonna give it.
I'm a squishy lad. Just pick one boss.
Okay. I think its opportunity is just that it drags you under. That you are using under the water. Okay, so we're not rolling initiative yet. I would like you to make some sort of check to escape being dragged underwater by a Kelpie.
Dodge?
Yeah, we'll let you roll a dodge check. How are you dodging? How are you getting out of these jaws that are wrapped around your leg?
I would like to think that is why I asked Barnaby. It is, I get bit around the leg briefly, and then there's just incoming barnacle goose.
All right.
Get in the eyes.
That hits. Okay, so Barnaby, with a massive speed, turns out barnacle geese are really fucking good in the water. Hits this Kelpie square between the eyes like a fucking rock, like a boulder the size of a beach ball. The Kelpie is dazed. It lets go. It starts to sink backwards, and Barnaby immediately spreads his barnacle wings, grabs you with its tendony little flippers, and flies you out of the water and as close to like into the shallow end so that you at least can crawl to shore before collapsing next to you and like twitching in a heap because of how much it strained itself to lift you.
Yes.
So you're on the other shore. Congrats! You're there. You got to the other side really quickly. Good job.
How much damage did I take from the bite?
Oh, how much damage did you take in the bite? You took... Gotta look up the stats of what I just quickly grabbed. You took 20 physical damage because it crit.
Oof. I don't know how to alter that, so I'll just keep that in mind.
Okay, I'm gonna start running back the way we came.
Yeah, I'm going around.
Yeah.
Idiot. I just hear from the other side. In hindsight, the Kelpie didn't leave. He's still angry.
Either that, there are others. It's also possible it's just another Kelpie.
I'm just having fun running around. It's like, Blank,
Yes.
are you alright?
It's really fun.
Ow.
Okay.
I'm fine. Make sure Barnaby's okay.
She's gonna reach down and pat the barnacle goose if it lets me.
You
It
should have
does.
figured if this thing was deep enough for a seaboard to swim in, there could have been other things in there.
I thought the seaboard moving would have scared other things away.
Now that doesn't make sense. If anything, there were things waiting to scavenge off that seaboard once it was dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah, you only live once, right?
There's nothing I can do mechanically to heal you, but she is going to like rip off some of her own clothes and wrap it around your leg.
Thank you.
The problem is, Charles can heal him, but it would be not cost effective to at this moment. You need to be
That's
slightly more hurt.
Yeah. Well, let's you don't have to worry about that so
JRPG
much.
fashion.
Probably nothing else is gonna come at you at this bit, Ridge. Let's see if we can find this
fine.
dragon.
It's fine.
Let's see if we can find this dragon.
I'll help Monteblanc limp.
That's fair. I'm down to half health, so.
Oh, you're in crisis.
Oh,
You're in Crimus.
I'm in Crimus.
Well, then actually, I might actually. How hurt are you?
So I have a base health of 40, and that did half
Oh.
health in one bite.
Oh yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I'll use a heal. So you heal 40 points. That is my base heal. My base heal would bring you from 0 to full.
Fuck yeah, healer.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It's just, ooh. Much obliged. Thank you, Charles.
Oh, wow.
Before
You have the
I,
power to heal?
before I became a farmer, I almost joined the priesthood, but
That was very impressive.
So that is 10 mind points.
All right. Well, go ahead, keep exploring. We got 14 minutes left.
There's only. There's not much left.
Ah. Looks like a dead end over here, unless you want to go swimming, and we all know how that's gonna turn out.
As you guys approach the end of that little peninsula there, something emerges out of the depths.
Dun,
And you
dun.
see a very large reptilian head. Vaguely crocodilian, not quite as much as the Kelpies, with big pronounced fangs towards the front, huge curving backswept horns, large frilly fins on the side of its head that almost resemble ears, a sort of dorsal fin stretching from its forehead back down its neck, a long serpentine neck attached to an equally long serpentine body with two short clawed arms and two wings that don't look big enough to serve as flying wings, but would be very helpful to help paddle in the water. Its body is covered in sort of sea green and blue scales designed to camouflage it as it swims underneath in its blue lagoon. And its eyes are a piercing purple. It raises its neck high and begins hissing in a series of almost musical like grunts and serpentine crocodilian vocalizations that are a bit menacing, but not necessarily threatening. Menacing in the fact that most of you are mammals. All of you are mammals, in fact, because Shady's not here, and are not used to hearing reptilian communication. Well, one of you might be. Two of you might be, actually. Because one of you's got a little... You got a little garter snake.
Yeah, would Charles recognize this from being neighbors with Gorgons and Serpentars and stuff?
Yeah, they would definitely speak dragon languages, because Gorgons and Serpentars are kith and kin to Echidnas and Dracaenas, which are half-dragon chimeras. So you definitely have heard dragon languages before. You lack the vocal cords to speak it, and thus are not fluent.
Right.
But you've heard that language before, and you do recognize what this creature is doing is language. It is speaking.
Does this creature fall under the beast, monster, or plant species?
In terms of Fabula Ultima mechanics, yes.
Then
It would be monster.
yes. I have beast speech as my level of chimerist, which allows me to communicate with said creatures.
Alright, then you hear what it's saying. And it's saying, well, more little interlopers. I bet you don't even understand a single word I'm saying, do you? I could say whatever I want and it would sound really threatening. Fart, poop, stink, shit, poop. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Ha 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 ha. Why haven't you left yet? Get the fuck out. I do not want you here.
This is the most vulgar serpent I've ever had.
Hey, I'm not fucking... Wait a minute. How the fuck do you know that I'm being vulgar right now? Hey, normally I'm the picture of class, asshole.
I thought I recognized some of those words, but I've only heard like hatchling children say those when they were in trouble.
Then your children swear.
I look over my shoulder. Have I ever heard Longshanks make any of those noises?
Yes, and also he looks fucking delighted. like he has got the biggest kitty grin.
Well, at least somebody's enjoying themselves.
Oh, yes. Hello. We are searching for the Knucker of Ridgetooth River. I would assume it is you, yes?
And then he says in Bretonch English human speech, oh, fuck, okay. Alright, welcome! I'm the Knucker of the Ridgetooth River. Why the hell are you in my home? Wait a minute. Are you trying to get pirate gold? I'll fucking kill you trying to take my pirate gold.
We are not
No.
here for pirate gold, no.
Okay, good. I don't want you to take my pirate gold. I like my pirate gold. It's very shiny.
I didn't know there was gold until you mentioned it, so maybe don't lead with that.
Everyone's always after my pirate gold. I don't understand why people are here if they're not after the pirate gold. What are you here for?
We're here for a different treasure, I suppose. You know, the witch?
Okay, no. How dare you? First of all, how dare you? Second of all, fuck you. Third of all, how dare you? Really? You do not. She has suffered enough. I ain't telling you shit.
We are
He is
here.
vulgar.
I am not vulgar. I am the picture in class. You caught me in an off moment.
That's not a character. That's just Grey dying. Mont Blanc will go. I do think you're misunderstanding us, sir. We have come to retrieve the heart to return it to the Heartless Witch.
Oh no! She specifically told me that. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know who this broad is. I don't know what you're talking about whatsoever. You should leave my river. Get the fuck out.
Please, can I just explain why we are requesting this?
Yeah, fine. I don't want people saying I'm some sort of asshole. All right, fine. I'll let you talk. Fine. Fine.
Thank you. She's so sad. I know she can't feel it, but she is. It hurts to watch her go through that. I just want her to be happy.
And you see the Knucker's expression just soften a bit at that. And he looks genuinely sad and he's like, I didn't think it was a good idea. I think each person needs their art. I don't care if the humans are being mean to you. You got me, and you got Griff, and you got Stinky in the swamp. Well, that's company. Oh, shit. Oh, she hasn't had that thing for 30 years. That's gotta suck. Oh, damn it. I should have spoken up. That's my fault. It's my fault, isn't it? Oh, jeez.
It's not her fault.
Ah, shit.
You wanted to make sure your friend wasn't hurt, and she chose that decision on her own.
Okay, look. She gave me the heart because I'm a dragon and I'm really good at hiding things. But like, I live in the fucking water, and it's meat. You know, it's like this little pumpy, muscly thing. I didn't want it to get like spoiled, and so I thought. And she told me to hide it where she wouldn't find it. And obviously, the first place you'd look for a dragon's stuff is in this hoard, right? So
You didn't.
yeah. So here's the thing. I was locked in a box, and there was a key, right? So I gave the key to my friend in the swamp, and I gave the box to my flying griffin friend. He went to hide the box, and the swamp friend went to hide the key.
Well, we'll just go ask them.
Yeah, okay. Shit. It's a state of affairs.
Yes, she was not doing well. She was merely
Oh,
going through
fuck.
the motions.
I haven't even checked in on her in a while, you know, because I'm so busy. People are trying to steal my pirate treasure. It's a whole thing.
Well, I hope you can successfully
I
defend
should
her
have.
friend.
But she's my friend. Fuck. Shit.
I know you don't. I know Longshanks doesn't appreciate it a lot, but would you like a hug?
Yeah, I don't mind a hug. Hugs are nice.
Hug the dragon's
I like
head.
that soft fabric that humans wear sometimes, because, like, that shit feels good on scales. Like fleece.
Can we make it a group hug?
Oh my god.
Are you all hugging the fucking dragon?
Well, I am. 'Cause I asked, so.
I would like to.
No.
No.
Of course The Dark Blade won't.
All right. Okay, you're nice guys. You're nice. You know, it's good. There's not a lot of nice guys in the world. Not a lot of nice guys to the witch. I feel bad. I should have spoken up. I should have told her it was a bad idea. She should put that thing right back where it came from. So help me. You know what? I'm gonna go get you something real quick. Give me a second. And he dives under the water a second. 2 minutes later, he comes back. Okay. I don't got anything for Griff, but here, if you take this. And he gives you a gold doubloon. Looks to be Germanorian in print, maybe. Probably from a Viking of some sort. It's like, okay, if you give this to Stinky in the swamp, that'll show that you're good folks. That you came from me. You got my blessing, and she'll be less likely to rip your heads off.
That is very.
Yeah, we wouldn't want that.
Thank you.
All right.
Only less likely.
Well, you know, trolls. They're sweet. They're sweet, but they're not always the brightest. They don't always think with the think meats. They sometimes think with the heart meats. And sometimes they think with the stomach meats, and that's when you're really in trouble.
I'm gonna hope that I'm just too small to want to eat.
Yeah, sorry, you're about the right size.
Oh, well.
You'd fit real well in a cauldron. I'm sorry. I don't eat people. I like fish. I'm more of a piscivore, if you will. I have to fight people sometimes, and I bite them, but all bony, not enough fat, no mercury in you at all. You're just not good. Sorry.
I'm sorry that we don't agree with your stomach.
No, I think it's probably better for you that you don't.
Yeah, I'm also not that upset.
I mean, I try to make a habit of not eating things that talk, but I mean, fuck, anything can talk after a point with magic. It's just, this one time I was eating a fish, and it was like, hey, if you spare me, I'll give you 5 wishes. And now let me tell you, I bit his head right the fuck off. That freaked me out.
Understandably so.
Hopefully, your friend doesn't eat us, and we can help your other friend.
Yeah. If you do give her a heart back, tell her to visit. I don't get up the mountains that much. I'm getting kind of big for taking a journey that far out of the water. But I'd love to see her again. She was always a hoot. Tell her I'm sorry. I didn't speak up back then. I had some doubts. I had some doubts about the whole thing. It just seemed kind of drastic.
Mm-hmm.
You just wanted to support your friend.
Yeah, I mean, she's a grown woman. She can take her own choices. She's like 150 or something.
I'm guessing that the dragon
She looks really
also
good for 150.
Oh, thank you. I'm more. Oh God, how many moons has it been? How many winters? Where does the time go? God, I was once the size of a garter snake. Anyway, you should get going.
Mr. Nucker, may I make one last request before we leave?
If it's for pirate treasure, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna give it to you.
It is not for pirate treasure. It is a different.
I already gave you one piece. That's a lot of pirate treasure to give out. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes. So I am working on a small tome. He says, pulling out the not so small tome. And I am sketching magical creatures and beings like travel across the land.
You're like an artist?
Yes. I was hoping I could sketch you.
Shit! He beaches himself onto like a nice exposed part of the sand and immediately strikes a fanciful pose, his body gyring, his tail curling. It's all held very dynamic and action, and he holds it. All right, make me look good.
Draw me like your French dragons.
And I draw him like a Franco-Breton dragon.
A Frankish dragon. All right, the Knucker of Ridgetooth River. Description: oh, such a sweet fellow. Vulgar as shit though. Just let's flying with the curse words all the time. He tries to make you think. He tries to tell people that he's not like that all the time, but he is. Came into some pirate treasure recently, and that's pretty good for him. He deserves it.
And Mont Blanc will show the sketch to the Nutter,
Oh,
so
that's
we can see it.
beautiful. That's beautiful. That's lovely. You're a good artist. You keep
Oh.
doing that, you're gonna go far. You're gonna be on tapestries or something. I don't know.
You compliment me too kindly, sir.
All right. Well, you guys have fun. Have fun finding the key in the heart box. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Alright.
Tell her I'm sorry. All right.
Will.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
Bye. It was nice meeting you too.
And he disappears.
What a nice guy.
And with that, we end session 1. Yay!